Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terrence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else want. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Now, strap season, I know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switched codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather, I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for a piece, man. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge by the evening. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beef. If they don't leave anything behind at the evening.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a beast. When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they want to call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pour strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, Godfather. I'm the kingpin.
I hope everybody is having a great weekend, man. You know what I'm saying? It's one of them lazy ass weekends. You know, we ain't got no like really hellified fights coming on. What's going on, D1? What's going on, Philly Bull 91? What's going on? Salute to you guys, man. It's not like we got like some hellified fights coming up. Looking at this, you know, Chris Eubanks Jr. fight coming up, and man, you know what I'm saying, with Chris Eubanks Jr. You know what I'm saying? I had such great high hopes for him, man. He's always fighting, you know, in where you got to drain himself, and he can never, you know, say he had such promise when he came out, and then he ran into George Groves, and George Groves gave him a proper beatdown, and we saw the hype. We saw that he was missing a few elements. You know what I'm saying? A really great brawler, but not an awesome boxer. You know what I'm saying? He don't have a very high boxing IQ. You know, got great athletic ability, but we saw he was missing, you know what I'm saying, the boxing mind part. And, you know, I think he would even do better if he fought in his own weight class, right? Not that I'm a big British boxing fan, but when you have a legacy kid like Chris Eubanks Jr., and you know who his father was, Chris Eubanks Sr., you know, that was a great golden age of boxing his daddy came from. And so he did so well that you wanted to see his seed, you know what I'm saying, see what his seed can do. That'd be like if Muhammad Ali had a son, and, you know what I'm saying, his dad was so great that you want to see his son, you know what I'm saying, have some of those same attributes and see what we could do in the sport. But the thing with Chris Eubank Jr., he came. The only thing he got from his dad was that bravado shit. And it's kind of cool when you can back it up. But he came in there with the arrogant shit, and he had that part down pat, right? But the fighting, wasn't up to par. And so once he took that L from George Grove, he just, you just kind of got exposed, and he never could, pick up the same kind of momentum in his career that he had before he got beat by Groves, right? So now you got fighters on the level of Liam Smith, like really shining on your ass. I mean, Liam like beat his ass like thoroughly the last time they fought. And I'm like, Liam Smith, bro. That's because you're not fighting at your weight class. You're shrinking down, and you drained. You was gonna fight Connor Ben, who's doing what he's doing. So and you're just making money off the legacy kid name. And it's just like, I just hate to see somebody with a start like that not take the sport, or maybe he just don't have the talent to follow in his father's shoes. And then to have this whole arrogant, persona, and go out there and get your ass beat at the same time. It's just not a good look for, a legacy, son, a legendary boxer's son. Just not a good look. And then you got, Liam Smith, the Liam Smiths of the world beating you all across, all across, the landscape. And it's just kind of like it's a bad look, Now he's got to go out there and try to get another win tonight. I'm gonna watch it. Just because I love Chris Eubank Sr., even though, Chris Eubank Sr., he was an exciting fighter, even though his division wasn't that popular back then, that, it was all about the heavyweights when Chris Eubank Sr. was fighting, and Nigel Benn and all those guys were fighting, that great talent. When all they was getting it in, it was really about American boxing. And, and the fact that his daddy looked like George Jefferson, with the receding hairline, and he talked shit like George Jefferson, but the only problem was, the nigga, he wasn't American, that was his only problem, he talked shit like Muhammad Ali. He said he had this weird, he just had the real arrogance in the ring. He could sell himself, but he just wasn't American, and I don't know what it is, about the British, the accent and they swag or whatever. It just never translate to America, unless you're just a hardcore boxing fan or something like that, and you just recognize their talent. Once they start talking, it just sounds like, I don't know, man. Maybe that's just part of being American. You just, once you hear that accent, it just kills half the fucking marketing ability. But his dad was a motherfucker, man, and he got the arrogance down. I just wish he had his dad willpower and his boxing ability in the damn ring. I'm pretty sure he's probably gonna go out there and give it his all. I mean, he goes through about 15 trainers a year. And, it's just not one of them fights where you just like, God damn, I got to see it. But like I said, being a hardcore boxing fan like myself, I want to see what he can do. I always support the guy, even though he's a major dickhead. But that's just the way it is, What's going on? Let me holler at my people. What's going on, Jeff R, Zach B in the building? What's going on, Jeff R in the building? What's happening? He says, Pooh, you need to look at the breakdown of EJ versus Bud on Casino. YouTube is a different perspective. And he says, he said he just posted it like 3 days ago. So I hope you find the right one. He said, what's going on Settertone? What's going on, my brother? I've been working, man. It's like I've been like, work has been like really like killing me, man. I'm like, every time I come in with a load, I have to go out with a load. Come in with a load, got to go out with a load. So I've been like really, really, really super busy. But the thing is, it hasn't been like really any really good fights, you know what I'm saying, on. But I've been checking out what they're talking about when EJ reactivated the rematch clause, right? So I was excited about that. But at the same time, you know, what I'm worried about is, you know, is Derrick James going to be able to properly prepare EJ for the rematch? And then is EJ is in any good shape? Excuse me. Is he in any mental, you know, shape and physical shape to like really, you know, rise up to the challenge of fighting Bud again? And it's just one of them things where you just want fighters to be at their best, you know what I'm saying, when they fight. If he's going to fight Bud Crawford, you know what I'm saying, he's ready. You know, he's prepared himself for 5 years, you know what I'm saying, to get a name, you know what I'm saying. And that's something I want to talk about today, especially when we're talking about Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., because, you know, you got Demetrius Andrade who kind of fall into that category, man. You know what I'm saying? Like them fighters that been outside, you know what I'm saying, not really fighting nobody, you know what I'm saying, not really going through wear and tear on their bodies and shit like that. But then they come in, they get a shot at the big time, you know what I'm saying, after avoiding everybody for years and years and years. Now they come in, you know what I'm saying, on some weird ass shit, you know what I'm saying, after being with the Zone for years and years. And now he gets to come over to the PBC when he should have been at the PBC from the beginning, getting it in. The man is 35 years old. So it's kind of like, you see what I'm saying, how it kind of correlates where Bud, he's been on the outside, not really fighting competition, you know what I'm saying, but yet he's staying in shape, taking strategic fights. And I just don't agree with that, you know what I'm saying. I mean, you know, if you're going to dominate a weight class, you know what I'm saying, you don't stay on the outside of it, you know what I'm saying, and you don't fight the best fighters in the weight class. And then you come along in the end, you know what I'm saying, once a guy done been through, you know what I'm saying, fighting all the battles and fighting everybody in the weight class, and then beat him at the end after he's done with the division. I don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't agree with that at all. Now, in the rematch, you know, I'm worried that Derrick James stretched too thin, you know what I'm saying? He don't seem like he's the type of fighter that could take on a whole bunch of fighters. He just don't seem like he's organized like that. And, you know, I think these fighters need more than a day or two, you know what I'm saying, to be with their trainers, you know. I'm old school, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, Mickey and Rocky, you know what I'm saying? It's me and you, and, you know what I'm saying, we're going to train, and you know what I'm saying, not have this shit split up between, unless you get them a team. And I don't think Derrick James, I mean, I really don't know much about how he operates his camp, but it's clearly not, you know, when you've been with a fighter for 15 years, you want to make sure that, you know, your core fighters are taken care of. Like Jermell Charlo, he's going into a fight with Canelo Alvarez, right? How much time is Derrick James giving Jermell, or is he splitting up his time between that other coach he has down there in Houston? See, it's a lot of shit we don't know, just because there's a lot of moving parts going on in Errol Spence Jr. camp, Jermell Charlo's camp. You know, so what are they doing, bro? Because I was just extremely disappointed that Derrick James didn't see the condition of Errol Spence Jr. and why didn't he say something? Why didn't he? Maybe he did. I don't know. But why did he let him go through with this fucking fight? Because, you know, once you go through with the fight, and I don't, you know what I'm saying, what happened, right? You know, Errol Spence Jr. lost the fight. But what I would have to give Derrick James some blame, you know what I'm saying, just like Bomack was saying, that you know what I'm saying, it's kind of Derrick James' fault. If you see this man in here weak as fuck, can't really hit the pads, you know what I'm saying, can't really, you know what I'm saying, he's not feeling well. He's you know, because he can't fight at that weight, you know what I'm saying, why be a part of that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know money is a big drive, but, you know, boxing is more than just about money. It's about legacy. You know, this fight, it's been building for like 5 years, bro. You know, motherfuckers been talking shit, and your fans on this side, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you talking about a one-sided ass whipping, And you got to come out there and give that kind of performance. And I'm just like, bro, you know what I'm saying? If the fans would have known that Errol Spence Jr. was weight drained, we would have demanded that he not fight the fight until he got right. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. You know, we would have demanded it, but we didn't know. They hid this shit from us, and it just kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth about the rematch. Okay, so is it just going to be about grabbing money? Or is he going to come in there and try to win the motherfucker? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? We don't know what's going on. We just on the outside looking in. So what's really going on is does he have some really, saying bad? I mean, I don't know, man. I'm just worried that this man ain't right. You know what I'm saying, for the second fight. Or is he just going to go in there any old kind of way and not train up for this shit? You know what I'm saying? Because unless you get Blu-ray, bro, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I'm just worried because it look like Derrick James ain't gonna step up and say shit, and he's just gonna go along just with whatever Errol Spence Jr. wants. He's not gonna put in his wisdom. Look like they say, hey man, you ain't feeling well, fuck it, we'll just go in there and do our best, and maybe we'll get him in the next one. I'm just like, bro, what's going on here? Something is just off. That's not the same Errol Spence Jr. that we've been seeing. So how can we get Errol Spence Jr., to look the way he used to? You know what I'm saying? Or is it just that his time has come and he's just, starting to feel the effects of all the fights that he had to grind through? You know what I'm saying? So it's just so many questions, that you worry, that have you, and they don't talk a lot. So, so you got to do a lot of speculation. But I'm not the one in the ring. I'm not the one that's inviting all the athletes to come out to see me get my ass whipped. So, you know what I'm saying? So, if he can bear it, you know what I'm saying, and hyping up these fights, you know what I'm saying, he's going to have to come out there and make sure that he shows the best version of himself, him and Derrick James. So, I'm not trying to be too hard on Derrick James because I don't know how much power he has over Errol Spence Jr. because Errol Spence Jr. seemed like he's one of them dudes that, he carved his own path, and he seemed like a real willful kind of guy, that he will cut your ass off if you don't do things his way. He do seem like that kind of dude. So I really don't know how much power Derrick James do. I could just tell by the way Derrick James speak that he just kind of stays in his lane, teaching boxing, and he don't push it no further than that. Whereas a boxer should be more, than that. So you should have some say, hey man, you're not looking great, man. You this weight, you cut too much weight, bro. You're not going to be good. We should, reschedule the fight. And with everything Bud Crawford did, walking away from negotiations, he should. I mean, that should be okay for him to have stalled the fight until he can, feel better or something. But I know he wanted it, and that's what happened to him. So I'm just hoping for the rematch that, we don't want it more than Errol Spence Jr. team. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm on that kind of shit. Like if you see this man ain't ready, Derrick James, you need to convince this dude, hey man, we need to take a couple of tune-ups or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I just think all that arrogant bravado just got to Errol Spence Jr. You got to take your tune-ups. You got to do the things you got to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to warm, like when you go out there and you crank up your car, you got to warm up your car, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to warm it up, especially when it's cold. You know what I'm saying? Or your car you're gonna throw a rod. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna say you're human. So it's a process. And when you're younger, you can skip certain processes, but when you hit them 30s, you gotta warm up, bro. You know what I'm saying? You like everybody else. You might be special in your talent, but you still got to do certain things like everybody else. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. He says, "Pooh, yes, sir. Yeah, that's the thing, man. I got to get out here and I got to make this here money. You know what I'm saying? They're getting older now, so you know what I'm saying, got to keep it in the bank. He said, I hope the rematch isn't happening this year. I believe it's too soon for Spence. And that's what I'm saying. Spence is always under a timeline with Crawford. You know what I'm saying? They're not allowing him to, get back up to if Spence would have fought Crawford after Ugas, that would have gave him enough time at that weight class to be able to function. But then he had that whole 16 or 15 months off, and that killed him. You know what I'm saying? That killed him, and that was all planned. You know what I'm saying? B-Dog says, Bomack wouldn't know anything about being weight drained. What's going on, Mr. AMG in the building? What's going on, brother? And this is Devon Wallace says, he says, salute pool. I just don't know how Derrick James get ready for Canelo. He says, Shakur and rematch with Crawford all in 1 year, especially after watching that first Bud fight. That's what I'm saying, Devon. It's like he's stretched too thin, man. You know? It's like all this shit hit Derrick James all at one time. You see Ryan Garcia is now starting to look for somebody else. Now he's like, after Errol got beat, he's like, hell to the no. I guess he said, I ain't going through with this here. He says, because he's over there messing with Mayweather now, trying to get little tidbits. He said, it was too much on the line. They couldn't mess up the bag, and I understand that. But look what he looked like in there. He wasn't even competitive. He said, I think Errol has more pride than that, just to show up for a check. I hope so, but at the same time, you got to give yourself the best chance. You know what I'm saying, to win. You can't go in there half stepping. You know what I'm saying? You can't go in there, not being at your best with that much time off. If you got that much time off, you need to be checking things off. You know what I'm saying? To get yourself together. You may not have a tune-up, but you should have been fighting and sparring in the off season, you know what I'm saying, with some really, just preparing yourself, you know what I'm saying, for this guy. All things, this is a loophole count in chat. What's going on, bro? So yeah, I'm just worried about it. I'm worried about the Jamil Charlo fight. Charlo doing a lot of fucking publicity, bro. He's doing a lot of fucking publicity. I'm like, bro, are you going for a check too, or are you gonna get in the gym and train? I don't want to see all these damn interviews. You know what I'm saying? That's something we see with a lot of fighters that get beat. Before the Bud Crawford and their Street fight, they did a lot of goddamn publicity, bro. They did a lot of promotion instead of being in the gym working on their shit. It's like they doing a lot of promotion. Yeah, we need vital testing, in this rematch. He says, now how Snack get down? Yeah, of course we do. He says we need vital testing ASP. We all know how Snack get down. Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people think that's far-fetched. People who wanted Crawford to win, they think that far-fetched. This fight was so big that they knew Crawford couldn't afford to lose this. You think they didn't do shit? Come on now. He says, Michael Ray Secchi says, Bull stalled out, I believe, to make it more difficult for EJ. He said EJ hourglass was running out at 147, and Bud knew it. Of course, we all knew it. EJ knew it. But my problem with EJ is he talked too damn much when he do talk. He shouldn't have let nobody know that. Well, they probably already knew that, he couldn't, it was hard for him to make 147. But, you don't tell people your weakness, your Achilles heel, right? You don't tell people your weak point. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happened. He just talked too much. Don't tell people your weak points, bro. Your weaknesses. If they know it's hard for you to make a weight, guess what they're gonna do? And we've known that EJ, shrank down to that weight for years and years and years. I'm listening to motherfuckers like Paulie Malignaggi talking about he don't want to see the rematch. Paulie, nobody really gives a damn what you want to see. He's talking about how fighters are signing 2 year signing on for 2 years, and it's hurting the sport of boxing, and it's like stealing money from fighters, and I'm just like, Paulie, your whole fucking career was stealing money, bro. You know what I'm saying? Your whole, how you gonna sit up here and say something like that, and nobody wants to see you fight? You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't punch yourself out of a wet paper bag, bro. You know, and it's just like he's so hard on everybody else, and yet he don't even reflect on what his career was like, right? So it's just crazy, man. Like how some of these fighters be talking shit, you know. Uh, and even Paulie, like even he recognized that Errol Spence Jr. was weight drained. He was saying the only way he could beat Crawford is if he goes to a weight where he's not draining down as much, or you know, where he's not as drained as he was at 147. You know what I'm saying? Because let's face it, you can only cut weight like that, you know what I'm saying, probably inside your 30s. Probably just on the front side, inside of your 30s, you could probably cut weight. We see what Devin Haney looked like after he cut weight. You know, so he can't fuck with 135 no more. I don't even know why Devin Haney is playing around with the belts, because he know if he goes back to 135 and fights Stevenson, or if he fights Tank, he's just selling the belts, in my opinion. He's just going to sell the belts because he can't operate at that weight. And once you know that about yourself, why not just set yourself up for success instead of failure? You know, and I understand that these guys, need to make money at the end of their career because, you know, they don't make as much on the front end. But once you start making that money, you know what I'm saying, it's like you need to set yourself up for success. And I guess from that standpoint, you could look at what Crawford's career and say that that's what he did. You know what I'm saying? That's what he did. You know, instead of, you know, going the traditional route. Instead of going the traditional route, that's what I say. He says too much transparency. Yeah, I think so too. You know, I mean, I think that Errol Spence Jr. is one of those old school fighters, you know what I'm saying, where, you know what I'm saying, you beat me if you can beat me. You know what I'm saying? He just put it all out there, you know, because if you think you're the best, you're going to try to fight everybody. But that's not what's going on today. You know, you got fighters skipping around and they want to say that they're the best, you know what I'm saying? And that, to me, that don't prove you the best, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of wear and tear comes on your body with fighting the top guys in the division. When you don't fight everybody, you know what I'm saying, you're not putting yourself through the trials and tribulations to come out able to go through all these divisions, because every fight, even if you win every fight, is going to take something out of you because you're still getting hit in the ring. But when you don't take those hits by fighting lesser opponents, then, you know what I'm saying, then you get to be saved for another day. They talk about Bud Crawford fighting Canelo Alvarez, right? I'm like, bro, Canelo ain't gonna fight you, bro. He's not gonna fight. What's going on, Shelton? LDBC? What's going on? What's going on? Say what's up with the general to the LDBC? What's going on with y'all? And yeah, you know, I saw the interview where he was talking to Bill Haney and stuff. You know, there's a lot of drama shit going on with that Devin Haney shit. To me, it's not even enough to be interesting. I don't even know why the hell. You know, they worried about these sparring fucking matches, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, Devin understands that if he goes back to 135, he's not going to be competitive against the top guys. So to me, it's just like dumbfounded how, you know, he's talking all this shit about don't let me catch you outside. And I was like, man, y'all stop that shit, bro. It's like, I know, what is he trying to promote? You know, it's like Devin just need to drop the belts, go ahead and fight Regis Pro Grade, or, you know what I'm saying, go on to 140 and do what he's going to do. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to fight them guys unless it's at a catch weight. Oh, man, it's just, I don't know. Boxing has become a damn soap opera. What's going on, 2 Cents Boxing in the building? Y'all subscribe to 2 Cents Boxing. You know what I'm saying? Say no evidence, what it says, no evidence 340. What's happening, bro? He says, yes, sir. What's happening? Read 215 Philly. What's happening, bro? So, you know, I'm worried about the camp. I'm worried about what's going on with Derrick James. It's like he's trying to act like he got everything under control, but obviously he do not have everything. When your star fighter loses the way he lost, and now you got all these big fights coming up for another one of your major fighters. I'm just like, Derrick, what you doing? I wish I can just go down there and say, hey, Derrick, what's the plan, man? What are you doing, man? It's like, what's the plan for Jermell Charlo? He's doing too many goddamn interviews. Every time I turn on YouTube, there's an interview with Jermell Charlo. I don't see Canelo doing all these interviews. You know why? Because he's preparing to beat your ass. You know what I'm saying? So why? I mean, I know like when these guys finally get the limelight, and I know Jermell always been a talker. He's always been a promoter when it comes to, you know what I'm saying, sitting down at these interviews. But when you got the biggest fight of your life, I want to see you shut up and dig in. That's what I want to see from him. And then I have the confidence that you getting ready. We have no way of knowing, you know what I'm saying, if Derrick James and Jermell Charlo are really on one accord. I don't even think I've seen them together maybe one or two times, but in the training, I haven't seen any training footage. I seen some, but I want to see him like really, like really, really take this shit seriously. If not, you know what I'm saying, look like he's just happy to be in the ring with goddamn Canelo Alvarez. And I don't know, it's just kind of, I don't know, I'm just worried about shit, man, because, EJ got to get a rematch in. I don't even know how that's going to work, because if he fights him in December, that's way too soon. That's way too soon. I don't know. I'm just like, how is he going to work all that shit? How is he going to get all that stuff in 1 year? Are they going to push it back? What? EJ ain't even talking. He ain't even, doing no interviews or nothing like that. It's like, I don't know. It's just everything is just kind of like got us in the dark, So everybody, and then, you saw what Jamal was saying about the Errol Spence Jr. fight. You would think he would have more insight to that fight, and he don't. I'm just like, bro, I don't know. I'm just perplexed, bro. It's like these guys don't even know each other like that. It's like they don't even know each other like that. So I just want some real information to come out. What was going on behind the scenes, what's going on with Jermell and Derrick right now. Derrick is kind of, he don't give you a whole lot of insight when it comes to how he's training for Canelo. And I don't know, it's just, everything's just so dull. Derrick, what are you gonna, what are you guys working on? What are you guys, are you excited? It's just like a monotone type of energy that when it comes to that Errol Spence Jr. Camp, nobody seems like they're excited. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Even Canelo is just playing it down. Jermell Charlo is a great fighter. Before, it's like they'd never done nothing to deserve the fight. But I tell you one thing, Canelo like that damn PBC money. You know what I'm saying? He liked Al Heyman. He damn sure like Al Heyman. And it kind of puts you in the mindset, are they really playing us or what? What's really going on? It's like boxing is like, it's a passionate sport. It's a passionate sport, but the passion don't seem to be there in these fighters or something. It don't seem to resonate with them. It's like, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Like, it's something missing here. It's like, like they're going through the motions, but even the press conferences are boring as fuck. I don't know. Something is missing, you know what I'm saying? And I can't put my finger on it. You say, what you say too, said it's probably in their contracts to do their interviews. I think so, but damn, it's a lot of interviews, bro. He said Spence getting it back in blood, homie, another fish fry. Getting it back in his own blood, homie, another fish fry. Okay. And stop being scared for Spence, homie. Man, get this nigga up out of my damn comments with that bullshit. You must be never been here before. Man, who is this J_? Nigga, nobody care about you. You must be don't know full counter boxing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass up out of here, nigga. With that bullshit. We here talking boxing. Get the fuck up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Get his ass up out of here. Anyway, what's going on, Errol? He says, salutes. He says, I ain't putting no stock in Mel. Damn. You ain't gonna put no stock in Jermell Charlo, the undisputed king of 154. You ain't gonna put no stock in him. You know, I just hope he don't become a fan. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want them to become fans because, you know, Jermell always kind of seemed like he was a fan of Canelo Alvarez. You know, every time I don't know if he was just doing that to try to get the fight, or it just used to turn my stomach anytime somebody asked him about Canelo. He used to flip-flop back and forth. Sometimes he'll talk a little shit about Canelo, you know what I'm saying, facing him. He'll beat Canelo and all this, but then he'll go on that whole tangent of, you know, Canelo is the face of boxing, trying to get Spanish, trying to get the Mexican fans behind him. Bro, they're not going to, the people who are loyal to Canelo are loyal to Canelo. They're not going to like your ass, bro. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. He says the plan is to make money on the Canelo fight. Then I get another bag with Spence. He says, I'm retiring to teach the youth, Derrick James. What's going on, Jeff Fox? He says, let me see. Toots Robson 24. He says, Spence did enough talking right after the fight. Time to get back in the lab. That's what I want to believe. That's what I want to believe. It's time to get back into the lab. But what are they really doing in there, man? You know, it's just so many things that that Spence, you know, so that we know he can do that he didn't do in the fight. And he just didn't look crispy, you know what I'm saying? I want him to look his best when he's in the ring, you know what I'm saying? Despite what all these Crawford fans saying, you know, and it's like, nigga, it's like y'all stop living through Bud Crawford. The man didn't fight nobody in the man is fresh. You know what I'm saying? The man got all his tune-ups in, and Errol Spence Jr. didn't. I mean, look at the way he framed up the fight. He walked away from negotiations because they were too scared that the man was going to be active enough, you know what I'm saying, to give him some competition in the fucking ring. It's like, y'all need to go ahead on with that bullshit, bro. Don't come to my channel with that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like y'all seen what was happening. It's like all things says look too much like business, even though it's a business. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All things, and it's not, you know, on that aspect. You don't want to see the fight if that's what it is. But if there's passion and like everybody knows, Errol Spence Jr. got the pride to get that back, man, to get that win back. You know, is 154 enough weight? You know what I'm saying, for Errol Spence Jr. to be able to be at his best? That's what I'm worried about. Is that enough weight for him to have on his body? You know what I'm saying? For him to access his stamina, access, you know, all the things we know he can do well in the ring. Jermell, is he focused? You know, he's been out the ring for 16 months. That's big, y'all. Being out the ring. See, that's why Canelo, you know, say he don't try to fight anybody unless he got an advantage, right? And to me, that's cowardly, you know what I'm saying, to try to fight somebody who's been out the ring for that long, you know what I'm saying, because it takes a while for you to get your mojo back. And these fighters know that, being fighters. Eric says 0, bro. Oh my God, bro. God, don't do me like this, man, because now my mindset, oh my God, bro. Oh man, but don't you? Jermell is a hell of a fighter, bro. I mean, it's weird. It's like we can't go by their last performance. Isn't that crazy? We can't go because it was so long ago. It's like boxing is different, y'all. They're just taking too long to get back into the ring, and by the time they come back into the ring, they're on a different level. It's like they're the same fighters, but they're gonna need time to get sharpened up. But they're going into these big fights, you know, not being 100%. You know, you saw Jamal when he fought what's that guy name? That Spanish guy, Mattel, right? And we know he's a better fighter than that. Mattel took him to the wire. I think it was it Mattel, or what was his name? Joel, something like that. And the guy, he wasn't that good, but he took Jamal to the wire, right? And it's like, bro, we know he just got done fighting Derrick, right? So you know he's a better fighter than that. And I know people want to put it off on styles and shit, but that dude wasn't shit. He ain't shit today. You know what I'm saying? The guy that Jamal fought. And see, but when you outside that ring and you know what I'm saying, and you getting rusty and your mind ain't on the sport and you're not working on your craft, guess what? You know, you start going down in skill set. You start, you know what I'm saying? You're getting away from the sport. And that's what we're seeing. Guys are just outside the ring for too long, you know, and I don't know how they're going to rectify that. You know, them being at the end of their careers and all. So Loose Bill say Spence needs to be the Spence from the Brook fight and the Peterson fight. Exactly. But see, when you but Loose Bills, when you outside the ring for years, and I mean not years, but y'all know what I'm saying, 14, 16 months, you're not going to look like that Spence. And I'm thinking, see, my problem was I was thinking Spence was preparing the entire time. And that's just not realistic from what I'm seeing. From Spence in the camp and Jamel, they're enjoying life. What they're doing is they're enjoying their lives. You know what I'm saying? They're rich guys now. And they're enjoying their money. And that's hurting the sport. Not that they're getting their money, but they're just got more options to do more things because they're rich now. They got, you know, whether you're handling business, buying real estate, whether you're just, you know, doing trips with your family, putting your kids in private school, you know what I'm saying, just life is happening because, you know, as you get older, the more responsibilities, you know, fall on your head. Now, when you 20 something, you ain't giving a damn. You know, when you're 20, you know, in your 20s, you're not giving a damn. You know, say you running the streets, whatever you're doing, you know, you take care of your family, but you're not honed in, you know what I'm saying, on taking care of the legacy of your family. And I think what's going on now is that the older these guys get, the more responsibility that they got to handle, you know what I'm saying? And they finding out the shit is real. Like, you know, the more money you have, it don't make life easier. It makes life harder because now you know you got to look out for your mom, you're looking out for your dad, you're looking out for your sisters, your cousins. They got shit going on. You got to look into everybody's ringing your phone. It's different, bro. It's different, you know, especially when you get along with your family. You got a lot of people that, you know, you trying to make sure they good and your kids are good and you just got a lot of shit, bro. You got your house. You know what I'm saying? You got properties. You got a lot of shit that you got to take care of. You know, just me and my own personal life, bro. Y'all don't even understand, bro, how much time it takes just to get back here. You know, so especially when you know, trying to handle your business, you know what I'm saying? Then you got to give time to your loved ones, right? So they got a lot of shit going on. I understand that. But at the same time, you can't forget the craft that got you there. You know, you got to organize that time. And a lot of these fighters, they're not used to shit like that. They're only used to that in the gym, but not outside a life, you know what I'm saying, organizing the life on the outside of boxing. And I think that's where fighters get into trouble. Trying to organize, you know, saying that family life, trying to organize, you know, spend time with their children, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it just kind of like one it kind of nullifies the other, I believe that's happening. And then once you get into that training camp, you know, you can't just be going back and forth home. You know, you got to lock in with Errol Spence Jr. with him being in Dallas and training. I think that kind of hurts him a little bit because he gets to bounce back home. I think you need to lock yourself off when you train. Him, Jamel. I don't think they need to be in Dallas when they train. You know, because it's too much shit to get into outside of boxing. they know too many people in those areas. And I think they need to get away from that. So I think a change of scenery would be good for those guys, just so they don't have the distractions. I think Regis Prograde was talking a lot about that, about fighting at home and training at home, and how many of his people, his cousins, and everybody wanted to come by and watch him train, and everybody wanted to get tickets. And he was talking a lot about that. I said, damn, so I never really thought about that. I said, you know what? That is true. And Errol Spence Jr., they home, when you talk about Jamil Charlo, they home, they train at home, and I'm talking about the cities that they're in, what I'm saying? So if you grew up in Dallas, everybody, you could, what I'm saying, you go right down there on the corner and, somebody, they coming by your training and what's up, Errol? What's happening, bro? Did you see such and such? Like, damn, nigga. What I'm saying? I'm training for a big ass fight. What I'm saying? You can't just come through here. What I'm saying? So with Derrick James, I think he needs to, rediscipline these guys and maybe even take them away from Texas and get them somewhere where they're isolated so they can focus on their shit again. And I just see a little loss of focus. I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating here. He says, Eric Sames here. He said, he's all right to me. He says, I don't like his energy. Yeah, he said, I never liked how he talked about, he's always caked for dude. And I just don't know if he just did that, just try to get some of the fans on his side. I think his wife is Spanish, so, you know what I'm saying? He says, Pool confidence shakes after one fight. Come on now, Pool. No, I'm not. I think I'm rolling for EJ, but I'm talking about. Okay, look. Okay, what do you think about Errol Spence Jr. preparing for that fight? Like I said, I thought he was doing everything. I seen him getting flexibility coaches. I saw him, doing acupuncture. I saw him I'm like, God damn, Errol Spence Jr. is going all out. I saw him get a nutritionist, everything, I see him, sparring and all this shit. So I'm thinking he did everything, to get ready for this fight. He didn't, he didn't do everything. What he did was he did everything to get down to 147. You see what I'm saying? So it ain't about the confidence of his skill. It's almost like he didn't give himself a chance to show himself as the best version of himself. You know what I'm saying? And if he did all that shit just to get down to 147, so basically it's like he had another fat camp. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see him have a fat camp. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him at his best. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about confidence. It's like, I want to make sure that Errol Spence Jr. is giving himself the best chance to win, and that's what I thought he was doing. And he went out there, weight drain, saying, why would you come into a fight fucking weight drain? I know for $30 million, and that's what I'm talking about, bro. I mean, I'm still rocking with my man, but I don't like the way he approached that. I don't like the way he approached that weight drain and shit. If he knew he couldn't fight the man at 147, don't lead your fans on thinking that, say you fighting at your best. And that's what I'm saying. So I want him to be at his best at the rematch. I think he'll beat Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It's just that he can't be drained, bro. He's got to be. How are we going to know that he's going to come in there in the best shape of his life? Or is he just going to go in there the best shape that he can get in? You see what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of like, I kind of agree with Bomack. You know what I'm saying? Like, Bomack said that if, he was weight drained, Derrick James should have said something. And I think the same. Everybody saw he looked small and he looked dead. And why did they? I mean, bro, it's just, I don't know. I'm just pissed off about it. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, King Judah? What's going on, D-Town Boxing in the building? What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, bro?
So what y'all think about this Bomack? What he was talking about, that Derrick James dropped the ball. I don't know how much power Derrick James got over Errol Spence Jr., but I do think he saw that he was weight training. I think they went through with it anyway. What do y'all think?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Paul. Like for the first time ever, I kind of agree with Bomack, bro.
Yeah, I do too. I agree.
I'm going off a lot of stuff that I looked at coming into the fight. You know what stuck out to me in the when they was doing the interview with the press conference, before the fight. Derrick James was in his feelings a lot, bro. I'm not used to seeing it, bro. I have seen him snap at people, but it's usually still in this reserved manner. Like even when he snap on people, he's still reserved. Man, but when he got in front of Bomack and them, he seemed flustered, bro. Like it was entertaining at the time, but looking back on it, bro, that was him acting out of character.
But I think Derrick.
It seemed like it came off. Let me say this real quick. It just kind of came off there like I knew they was confident, bro, but something like, bro, that energy was almost like, are we really ready? You know what I'm saying? It was more like he was defensive, bro, more defensive than normal. And like I said, when I saw EJ, bro, when you were talking about how small he looked, because I think that was either that was either on your live when that fight was going on or Just Do Boxing. Or for one of y'all, I told y'all, I said, I think that was you, the Spence fight, right? Or him and Crawford. I think that was you. And I was like, bro, full counter, he looked little. I said, Errol Spence looked little.
We never seen him look that little.
Man, he looked little, bro. And I was like, man, that's crazy. Now, when the fight first started, when I actually saw him and Bud next to each other and I realized Bud was the bigger man, my heart dropped. I said, this shit not about to be good, bro.
So what's going on, D-Town? What's going on? Long time no see. What's happening, my brother?
What's going on, fam?
Oh, not much, man. I'm just, bro, I'm like all over the place with this, you know what I'm saying? I'm rocking. Of course I rock with my boy EJ. I'm just trying to figure out what allowed him to go into that fight. I mean, we've seen he was weight trained, bro. It's just like, why would he set himself up like that? Why wouldn't Derrick James? Why would Derrick? Does he even have the power to stop EJ? I mean, it's a whole PBC, it's a whole system behind them. But this is a huge legacy fight. Why would he go into this fight? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to say it without, why would he go in there like that? D-Town. I'm like Bomack. If I was Derrick James, I wouldn't allow EJ. He's up there sitting up there like he's dead. He can't hardly make it. I know $30 million on the line, but you know what I'm saying? This is Bud Crawford. This is for undisputed. Why would he go in there like that? You know what I'm saying? I think he'll be better at 154, but damn, man, he just kind of set himself up. What do you think? What do you think, D-Town?
Well, I remember listening to Blu-ray, and he was saying that a lot of things went wrong in the camp, and I heard some things about that Errol Spence had a rib injury or something like that, and, everything that could have went wrong in the training camp. I remember making a video showing at the weigh-in, you could look on Errol Spence's side and see he had a little bulge on his side, you know what I'm saying? So it might have been some kind of validity to the rib injury and also to the weight loss. But I think it was a lot of money on the line to where EJ, he wasn't trying to hear it. In his mind, he like, I'm going to beat, Terrence Crawford's, any means necessary. And I don't think that Derrick James could have stopped the fight. I don't believe that. I don't believe anybody could have stopped the fight if you ask me. Now, I'm not saying it's 100%, but he wasn't trying to back out of it, especially how long it took to make this fight. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So he's been trying to make this fight for a very long time. I remember listening to Terrence Crawford in the interview. He said it's all about timing. So I'm like, timing? What do you mean by timing? So I believe that Terrence Crawford knew that Errol Spence been talking about, how hard it is to make weight, all the way back since Mikey Garcia. So I don't know if it was a strategy move or whatever the case might be, but then I also know that he deals with Victor Conte also, and I say that Victor Conte, just there to help Errol. There to help Terrence Crawford as far as other things. But if you look at his website, it says, it helps your performance and a lot of other things that it helps you do or whatever. Now, me personally, I don't really trust Victor Conte. The only way that he got caught is because somebody snitched on him. Other than that, he probably would have never got caught, you know. And this man is a chemist. So I'm not saying that Terrence Crawford took something illegal. What I'm saying is that whatever Snacks got, it works. And Terrence Crawford filled in, you know, better than EJ, you know, the night of the fight. You know, when they did the weigh-in, Errol Spence looked bigger. And then the night of the fight, Terrence Crawford looked bigger. I'm like, God dang, what is this? Some kind of, you know, what's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So to me, in the first round, when I saw them fighting, even though they gave Errol Spence the first round, I told my wife, I said, something wrong. I said, that ain't the EJ I know. This man can't even block. He just standing there. I mean, everything about him was off. So, you know, I see that anybody was going to stop the fight. You know, I think EJ wanted to go in there in his mind, you know, I'm going to beat him any means necessary, but Terrence Crawford was the better guy that night.
And that was true, but you could, like you say, from the beginning, you could see there was something wrong with the way EJ was moving, and the way he was feeling. You know, to me, I'm like, okay, all right. So, well, Crawford got the first fight, right? Okay, so now we got the rematch. And the rematch is so close, bro, to the loss. And we know from the past, you know what I'm saying, how that turns out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, when fighters come back after a loss. Now, I'm not saying that EJ can't come in there and be healthy and beat Crawford, but now it's almost like we're back at square one, because now EJ has to go in there and prove that his style can beat Crawford's style. You know what I'm saying? Just now that he's going to have all the stamina. I don't even know if he's going to have all the stamina and all that shit at 154. That's my problem. Is 154 going to really be the thing that helps him beat Bud Crawford? You know what I'm saying? Is he going to have access to his stamina? Is he going to have access to, you know, his work rate? Is he going to, you know what I'm saying, be a bit, you know what I'm saying, be more closely to 100% than he was at 147 when he's fighting at 154? Because we never seen him fight at, well, we have when he was young, fight up there in the 150 range. But I mean, is he going to be effective? You see what I'm saying? I'm just trying.
He fought what you call at 154. He fought what's that tall guy?
But he was young then, you know. So in your 20s, you know, it's a little bit different. Now he's, you know, inching towards his mid 30s. And I'm wondering, you know what I'm saying, what he's going to look like at 154. And, you know, what kind of mindset does he have? I don't think he's like mentally damaged or nothing like that, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, like, is he going to do the things he need to do to have access to all the things we know he can do in the ring? You see what I'm saying? Is he going to be trained up? Is it enough time, you know what I'm saying, for him to, you know, who is he going to go with strength and conditioning? Now, is he going to still mess around with those dudes, or is he going to try to grab Blu-ray? I mean, you know what I'm saying? I want to see him. To me, look like he would. I would have Blu-ray on the phone immediately if that was me. If I was Egypt, you know what I'm saying?
I agree, bro. Like, he definitely, he definitely need to get back with Blu-ray for like, I'm not superstitious, bro, but you got to look at the facts, bro. Blu-ray had you on a knockout spree. You know what I'm saying? When you was with Blu-ray, you was on a knockout spree. You got off Blu-ray, you came back, you had a good fight against Ugas, but at the same time, bro, it's like
he was like a damn baboon, man, off the chain up in that thing when he was on Blu-ray,
bro. Like, and I just think it's time to go back, because, you know, I don't know if y'all subscribe to Blu-ray, but Blu-ray been saying for years, bro, ever since he last trained EJ, that he ready to train EJ whenever EJ ready.
Yeah, I see.
You know what I'm saying? So I think you need to go back with dude, bro. Like, I just don't think it'll hurt at this point. But then see, another reason I think he stopped training with Blu-ray is because I think that by him getting bigger for that weight division, you know, Blu-ray add a lot of muscle mass to Errol Spence. And I think that's why he went away from him. But I feel like now you're going to 154, you might as well come back, because you're going to need that extra weight. And we saw, to me, the two biggest factors why he lost to Crawford was he was too small, he wasn't strong enough, and I saw him get tired. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, he said he was tired after the first fucking round. Sorry, Pastor.
Right.
After the first round, he said what have we ever seen Errol Spence Jr., you know, tired in a fight? You know what I'm saying? So we knew something was wrong right there. And you know, hats off to the Crawford team. You know what I'm saying? They played them. They played the Spence team, you know what I'm saying, perfectly. You know what I'm saying? They waited around and they stalled the fight out. And, you know, I was like, what is going on? Why are they not signing the contract? And this is what it was. You agree? Y'all agree?
I think once again, when you take the supplements from Victor Conte, it takes time to work in your system. And I thought, you know, my opinion is when he knocked out David Avenesia. He saw like, man, man. He called EJ up now, man. I want to see all this time he been stalling. All this time he kept saying, like EJ, I don't care about undisputed. I already been there. As soon as he seen them substance start working in his system when he knocked out David Avenesia, because I was on Manager Marty's show last night, and Bud had one of Bud's friends was on the show last night, and I had jumped off, and he was saying that Crawford had knocked out everybody, and he didn't knock out everybody at 147. He only knocked out one person with David Avenesia. Now he got stoppages, but as far as KO, he only KO'd David Avenesia. But they were saying that he was growing into the weight. But I don't understand how can you grow into the weight of 147 when you walk around higher than 147. You actually working out to shrink down. You're not working out to go up in weight. So the man, as far as Bomack said, that Terrence Crawford sometimes walks around at 170 something. So when they said that he was coming into the weight of getting acclimated to the weight of 147, no, you actually shrinking down to fight at 147 or shrinking down to 140 or 135, whatever the case might be. But when he fought at 147, he was already walking around at a higher weight. So me personally, I think that the substance that he was getting from Victor Conte was working full effect, and it took a while for it to work to full effect, to where when he seen how he knocked out David Avenesia, he like, I gotta this stuff working. And they knew that EJ was drained. And if you listen to one of the videos that Terrence Crawford was in, he said it's all about timing. And I wonder, what do you mean by timing? I mean, you can't be talking about money. We know we know that he wanted money, yes, but what timing are you talking about? That you knew that Errol Spence had trouble? You know what I'm saying? Is it because the stuff worked in your system? I mean, what timing? So when we talk about the fight at 154, you have to understand at 147, it was problems in Errol Spence's camp. So if it wasn't a problem in his camp, then it might have been a different outcome or even a better fight. So we know who Derrick James is. We know who Errol Spence is. I'm still behind them. I believe that they will correct that at 154, and it will be a different fight, win, lose, or draw.
What's going on? Yeah, I'll wait for you to finish. I'm about to announce Manager Marty. Y'all know Manager Marty. You know what I'm saying? He is in the business of boxing. He knows this boxing game in and out, and he educates all of us content creators on what it takes to make a fight. He, you know, he bust open, you know, everything that was going on with Terrence Crawford and the negotiations, you know what I'm saying? So he kind of like really just gave us a new perspective on how to look at boxing and what to look for, you know, when these fights are being made. And man, he's just a treasure to the YouTube community. You know what I'm saying? Y'all check out his channel, man. I'm talking about if you want to learn, you know what I'm saying, everything about boxing, you know what I'm saying, the business of boxing, and even I love his takes on it too. You know what I'm saying? He has an interesting insight when it comes to it. So man, I just love me some Manager Marty, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, welcome to the show, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been working like hell. I'll be watching your videos, man. I sometimes I can't take it, bro. I be wanting to jump on there so bad, but I be so passionate. I don't want to mess it up for you. But I be wanting to get on there. Hey, hell no, man. What y'all talking about, man? I be like, no, Manager Marty, he too nice, bro. I was like, no, man, he's so professional. I was like, I ain't gonna go on there, man. I said, I'm gonna let him do his thing, man. But I love your show, bro. I look at your growth, man. I think you're gonna be big on here. But you know, that's Manager Marty for you, man. But this is the man himself, and I'll let you have it, bro. Mm-hmm. Can't hear you. I think you're on mute.
My fault. I appreciate you, man. Salute to everybody that's on the panel. You know, family right here, Detail Boxing. You know, I don't recognize the other
King
content
Judah,
creator.
King Judah.
King
Mhm.
Judah. I seen that name before. King Judah. Salute to King Judah. I seen that
Salute,
name,
brother.
King Judah. You know, to the panel. Salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate all of you guys that's on the panel, everybody in the chat, other content creators who have openly embraced me since I've been on YouTube. My first video was in October of 2022, and the rest is history, man. And I had no idea that my channel would even do any of these numbers that it's doing. The viewership always increases exponentially, and I'm I'm kind of shocked, really. Um, People have been telling me for years to do a podcast, not just on boxing, but I specialize in other areas. So people were telling me, man, you have the certifications, you have the knowledge, you have the personality to do a podcast. And I was like, nah, man, you know, I'm good. But I think that I'm on to something real good, educating
Mhm.
the people here when it comes to the sport of boxing. And that's really all I'm really interested in. I didn't know that I can make money off of this, get viewership. That never was my motive, man. So to be able to do all of that and meet great guys such as all of you guys on the panel, it's a blessing, man. I'm truly grateful.
Oh, no problem. Hey, so what is your take on, saying all this Spence business and the fight, and I haven't had time to like really talk to you the way I wanted to and ask you questions and things of that nature. But I do want to ask you, what do you think? I'm right there with you. 'Cause I watch your videos and everything you're saying. I believe too. I do believe that Crawford waited him out. I do believe, like D-Town said, and I've said this on my live streams, I'm not one of these content creators that's going to hold his tongue, and, if I believe something is what it is, that's why he stayed out the ring for so long. That's why he held EJ at 147. That's why he took a year to fight David Avanesian. And D-Town, y'all just articulating it a lot better than me. I do believe that, in the snacks program, him and Victor Conte came up with a cocktail that could go under the radar. And I just watched the way Crawford moved, the way he covered himself up on the fight day, weight day, and he looked sick. He looked sick as hell. That's that stuff that's going through his system, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's so many questions, and I think EJ just kind of, he's so used to roughing things out. He's so used to grinding things out, and saying just to make the weight. I think he put himself at a disadvantage, and so let me let y'all have the flow because everybody know my thoughts. You know what I'm saying on the, Let me let manager Marty, get his stuff out about what you think about this. And I want to talk about the rematch, and I want to talk about Jamel Charlo's chances of winning fighting Canelo. So I'm gonna let you have it, manager Marty.
You got it, man. It's very simple. And I think a lot of times when people start thinking based on their perception instead of looking at the realities, I think that's
Mm-hmm.
where the confusion come in at. We had a guy on my panel last night, and D-Town was on the panel, and the guy, I'm not gonna say his name, he's a good guy, Terrence Crawford fan, and he said the words, "I feel like you." And I said, well, see, that's the problem. Everybody keep talking about how they feel. And ever since I've been on YouTube, everybody been telling me is feelings, is facts over feelings. Facts over feelings. But what I recognize is that Terrence Crawford fans and some other people, it's not facts over feelings. It's fighters over facts. Because when you start pointing out the facts about certain fighters, people start getting defensive and they don't be objective and really look at all the facts. And so the facts remain, which was confirmed. I just posted a video just two and a half hours ago of the excerpt, or one piece of the excerpt, where I was asking Terrence Ball Crawford's closest friend, or one of his close friends that came on the panel last night. I didn't know he was a close friend. He just jumped on. And, I asked him because he said that, he was telling everybody that Crawford don't smoke, Crawford don't drink. He said Crawford's a gym rat, and Crawford had 10 of his last fights ended in TKO or knockout. And I had to agree with him, and he's right. So I had a question on that. And I asked him the question, and he gave me a really honest, good answer. And the question is, you know, if Crawford has all of these tools in his toolbox, all of these sacrifices that he make, all of the commitment levels it take to be a world champion and to be unified, why did he go to Victor Conte in the first place? He really don't need the guy. In fact, he needs to get a refund because he really don't need him, and none of the benefits are working, if you ask me. But apparently, like I think I see this logo from last night. Jay, I think that's her. I'm not
Yes,
sure,
sir.
but
That's 2 Cent Boxing
2
in
cents.
the
Yeah,
building.
yeah, 2 cents. Salute to her. She did a wonderful job explaining basically everything from front to back. And I believe she told me last night that she was a Crawford fan, but she keep it real. And the thing is, you know, Terrence Crawford's friend, he was keeping it real, but even 2 Cents Boxing asked a good question. I was trying to get it out, but I didn't want to be too aggressive with the guy. You know, Bomack said that they were training for 5 years for Errol Spence, but for the last 2 years, he's been with Victor Conte. So just the math alone, it just don't sit right with certain fans when we've been watching and following everything that's been going on with these two guys for almost 2 years, and we see why he was stalling in the negotiations, and basically it was to make sure. And I'm not, once again, like I said on my platform last night, I'll say it again right now. I'm not saying that Crawford did anything illegal publicly. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that the snack program works. All the fighters that's on it, we see the changes in their structure, in their physique, in their performances in the ring. Those are facts. And with that being said, we see the benefits that it has given Crawford in his last 3 fights. Now, if that was the reason why he was prolonging it, so that whatever supplements he's taking, legal or illegal, can basically matriculate in his system and his body grow accustomed to it so he can reach the full benefit, it only makes sense. The reason why I say that, now this is why the controversy comes in that Netflix waited 2 weeks after this fight, 2.5 weeks, I believe, almost 3 weeks after this fight, to be able to premiere that documentary. And I believe it was because they didn't want to put, they and Victor did not want to put a damper on putting all this information out. And then all of a sudden, we know he's with the snack program. And then, of course, he dominates Spence. Now people have questions. But what they failed to realize is you got a guy like Manager Marty on YouTube, a guy like D-Town, 2 Cent Boxing, Paul Count, and I can name some others, that we just don't let things slide under the rug that easy. We'll wait until you put something out later, and we're still going to remain with the facts. And the facts of the matter is that Terrence Crawford needed to enhance his performance to beat Errol Spence. That's just a fact, not taking nothing away from him being a skilled, talented, athletic fighter and world champion. Got to give the man credit for that. But we got to keep it 100. He would not have went to Victor Conte if he was confident enough in his all of the abilities that we've been giving him credit for over the years. And don't take my word for it. We can roll the tape on LC, who was on my panel last night, and he actually said he believed that he went over to Victor. He, meaning LC, believed that he went over to Victor Conte's program because Spence was stronger than him and Spence was bigger than him. But we seen on the night of the fight, D-Town Boxing and Paul Counter and 2 Cent and King Judah, we seen on the night of the fight that Crawford looked stronger than Spence and bigger than him. And so,
Right.
you know, we got to keep it all the way 100 with the facts. We're not taking no credit away from Crawford, but if you rolling with a guy that got a history like Victor Conte, this would come with it. And the guy, LC, told us all on the panel last night that Bud Crawford is stubborn and he don't care what comes with. He don't care if people judge him for going to Victor. So this is where we at right now.
Hey,
I just wanted
go ahead.
I just want to point something out that D-Town was saying because I wanted to piggyback off it about that. I do feel like he playing this out, right? Because if you go back when they had that infamous meeting they had face to face, I think they were in Omaha when they were, Smith was in the red jumper. Crawford said, "When I beat you, when I do fight you, everybody gonna say you stayed at the weight too long and you was drained."
Exactly.
He told Spence that to his face.
That was
Then on top of that. And let me get this all. Then on top of that, because I like what I do is anybody who knows me or kept up with my channel, my videos, I remember things as they happen chronologically. So I'm not one of them people some people, man, they see the same thing happen over again, but they can't draw the correlation. Well, me, I'm very good at remembering what you said. I don't care if you say something that confirm it 3-4 years later, I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna correlate. So over the years after he said that, he been giving us hints. He been every time they asked him about Spence when he wasn't ready for him, he said, "You know what? That fight is behind me." Right? But then you have Bomack telling us, "Yeah, we've been training for him for 5 years." So they let you know when he saw Spence, when he told Spence, "You're gonna be drained when I fight you," the plan was always to fight him. The plan was to make sure that he was drained first, though. Because I'm, as long as you're not drained yet, as long as I see you looking good, I'm gonna say I don't want to fight you. The first sign that I think I have an advantage over you, then I'll be ready. Then he turned around and told us, I'm the puppet master. He said, "Yeah, I'm the puppet master." Basically, let him know he playing everybody. He gonna play Spence. He gonna play the fans. He had went and got a snack. He had made sure Spence was drained, and he said, "That's what, bro. You gotta listen to everything this man said, bro. Everything he said happened just like he said it was gonna happen because this was a game from the beginning."
Mm-hmm.
Hey, pull counter. Real quick, may I respond to somebody in your chat real quick?
Go ahead. Who you want me to highlight?
Joan Turner. I want to.
Oh man, Joan Turner's a Big Bud fan, man. He's gonna always troll.
She believes that I should be sued for slander, but that's not what I care about. What I really want to say is, Joan, if you come to my channel, you will see that the fighters that you're talking about in the chat that was on Snack, we revealed through Detailed Boxing, read the list of all of the boxers that's been sponsored or have been sponsored over the years on Victor Conti's website, snack.com. And no, Jerron Boots Ennis was not on there because, like I said last night, Jerron Boots Ennis is not a part of the Snack program. He does endorse Snack by taking pictures and receiving compensation with an endorsement deal that he has with Victor Conti, but he is not on the Snack program, meaning he's not using the supplements, he's not working out in California in Victor Conti's gym or none of that. With that being said, since Jones said that I never do videos on the people that's on Snack, there's already videos out. I'll give you a video right now. Since you brought up Caleb Plant, Jones, there's a video right now where Caleb Plant knocked out Anthony Derrick out cold, and we never seen him do that before. Nowhere did he knock nobody unconscious, but there's a video out with that as well. And you also mentioned Devin Haney. We see Devin Haney, who usually fade in the later rounds and previous fights coming up. He don't do that anymore. All I'm saying is the Snack program works, and even Joan knows it, and so does Terrence Bud Crawford fans. Now, the thing that confuses me a lot is that Terrence Crawford fans don't have a problem with him going over there with Victor Conti. They don't have a problem with him going on Snack, but they got a problem with me or D-Town or Marlowe TV or other people that's saying something about him going over there. It baffles me. Y'all don't have a problem with Victor Conti's history. Y'all don't have a problem with Crawford hooking up with him, but then y'all got a problem if somebody speak on it. It makes absolutely no sense. Everybody knows that in the last 3 fights that Bud Crawford been on the Snack program, it has drastically enhanced his performance. We all know that to be true. Now, we can sit here and argue whether it's legal or not legal. The point of the matter is, let's say it's legal. Like I've been promoting Snack saying it's legal. You see the enhancement. You see the benefits. What we talking about here? It's only one thing that Spence need to do. He need to go over to the Snack program since it works for Crawford and everybody else. That's why I say, hey, Paul Counter, we might have a more competitive fight if he go over there.
Goddamn, fight of the steroid monsters. Goddamn it, I'm trying to see. And when I saw him go to the Snack program, that I said that on my live stream. I said, hey man, I said, this fight is so competitive that I think Crawford is prideful and he don't want to lose, right? I'm saying he's over there at the Snack program and he's trying everything he can, to get the edge. To fight Spence. I don't think he would have faced Spence if he wouldn't have went to the Snack program. I really don't. Like we said, he never fought anybody in the division that was going to give him a problem. He never fought a Danny Garcia. He never fought, the guys in their prime. He always fights when he has an advantage. And he knew that like you said, he needed to enhance his performance. And so I think Snack gave him that edge. If anybody knows how to beat the VADA testing, it would be Victor Conti, the guy who really who's really the face of steroid usage and anything, to beat the test. He talked about how the English people beat the test and how easy it is to beat the test. So these fighters, to be able to fight at that high level for so long, and to me, I've been 35 before. Most people know that 35-year-old, you don't get faster. You don't get stronger at 35. You don't look like you looked when you was 25. I don't give a fuck how hard you work out. He just went out there and he just looked like he was 22 years old, bro. He went out there and I'm saying, bro, come on now. Now we've seen people fight. Now we're seeing fighters like Better Beef. We're seeing fighters, making these great drastic performances. Almost 40 years old, bro. They're not looking like older guys. They're looking like, they're looking incredible in the ring. And we know a lot of this, like Paula Maldonado say, these guys are juicing, bro. And I believe that, I do believe they be juicing. They said something like 80% of the fighters in the league are juicing. When you go to the head juice master and train up under him, you got to think, it got to enter your mind that this guy's over there, getting the benefits of whatever he's selling. And I've never seen Crawford look that strong. I never seen Crawford, say, unless when he was at 140, maybe he looked good or like that, or being able to move and being able to be precise like that. But never with this kind of power. He had Spence busted up, after the first round, bro. His face started just coming apart. And another thing is that Errol Spence Jr. was his easiest fight, bro. Come on now. His easiest fight, he did better than Sean Porter did better than him. Green Machine did better than Spence. Come on, bro. It's like, are y'all serious? But they don't want to face these facts. They don't want to look at it from that point of view because they just want to say that Crawford is a better fighter because that's who they're rooting for. But no, bro. We've seen Pacquiao. We've seen the years Pacquiao was in the league. Why you think Floyd Mayweather was like, no, bro? You got to take that test, bro. You're not fit to come in there and bust me up. But see, you got the EJs, the ABs. They still thinking on a traditional level. They're still thinking that boxing, is all about honor and going out there and just giving it your all. No, bro, you got to look out. You got to have a team that's going to look out for your best interest. You got to watch those gloves because these guys going to cheat, bro. It's too much money on the line. It's too much reputation. They don't want to be humiliated in front of their family, especially when it came to, I forgot who birthday it was. I think it was his mama's birthday or something like that. Come on, bro. This dude ain't gonna go in there without. And he had the nerve to wear a fishnet to the guy. I would have been like, hell to the no. I would have been like, bro, this dude, no, he wore a fishnet around his trunks. I'm like, this dude know that he's prepared. He's ready. And Spence had the worst night of his life. He was looking. He looked like he just wasn't there, bro. So to me, preparing for this rematch, I'm worried if Derrick James is going to be able to focus, to get EJ up for this fight. Because, he got this fight with Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez coming up. He had the AJ fight. Yeah, I think he got a Ryan Garcia fight coming up. I don't know if he's still with Ryan Garcia or not. But the thing is, he just stretched so thin, bro. Is he going to be able to give Errol Spence Jr. the time, especially with the time being so short between the first fight and this rematch? Is he going to have time to really get EJ prepared? Is that enough time to prepare for Bud Crawford with what he got going on right now? What do y'all guys think about that?
Let me go real quick. What I think is, bro, I think he do got time because I think the biggest factor what EJ need, because I put it like this here, I did see Terrence Crawford was faster, he was more sharp, right? So a lot of people like, oh, the skill's not gonna change. Well, actually, I don't think the skill gap was so great that matters. I think what EJ need more than anything, he need 100% of his strength and he need all of his stamina. Those two factors alone will change that fight drastically. And I can see where they can produce a win for Errol Spence. Because what we did see is Errol Spence can take all of Terrence Crawford's power. He can take all of it even when he drained. He got up every single time.
Hold on, King Judah. what's his name? Bird Gaming. He talks about apparently those nobodies with somebody's. Bro, that don't mean that, bro. Well, y'all stop the gaslighting, bro. Either you're a real boxing fan or you're not. Those guys couldn't beat nobody that EJ fought. EJ fought. So don't bring your little old talking points in here now that you got the result that you want. You know what I'm saying? Don't be coming in here with that, bro. I don't like that gaslighting crap. Unless them guys wasn't crap. Green Machine wasn't nobody, bro. You know what I'm saying? Apparently those nobodies was somebody. Bro, if you don't get up out of here with that, I'm sorry. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, I was just saying that, bro, that alone. So for the people like, oh man, Errol Spence don't stand a chance, bro. Nothing about my prediction changed. I still got EJ beating Crawford because I still see where EJ can win. Because like I said, the two most important factors I seen, because if you look at the first round, right, I gave EJ the first round. His jab was controlling. It wasn't until the second round that we saw a big difference. Like he got hit with a good shot because, of course, Terrence Crawford can set you up with a good shot. But I just think with EJ, he couldn't take those punches like he normally do. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't take it like
somebody went out. Go ahead, King.
Yeah, he couldn't take those punches like he normally would. But again, a lot of people not paying attention to how he was able to take all of Terrence Crawford's power throughout that fight, though. They had to stop EJ. EJ didn't stop. They had to stop him. The referee had to stop him. So that let me know that I seen, like, one thing you cannot deny is that Errol Spence can take all of Terrence Crawford's power. We don't know if Terrence Crawford can take all of EJ power. So I want to see the rematch. I want to see him stronger, and I want to see him with all his stamina.
And to piggyback off what you said, King Judah, you're right, but also Earl needs to listen because people are can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear.
People are advising Earl and telling Earl things, and he's just not listening. So I feel like Derrick James is getting a lot of heat. I feel some of it is undeserving because, Spence was advised not to take the fight. He took the fight. Everybody say Spence should work with Blue Ray. He ain't work with Blue. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this is falling on Spence, in my opinion, is because he's not listening. And what do y'all expect Derrick James to tell him? So it's like, that Derrick James should have told him to do this. Derrick James shouldn't have let him do that. Like, this is Errol Spence we talking about. This man didn't even go to physical therapy after his accident.
Fact.
Yeah.
So this is the type of mentality and personality that we're dealing with. So I think it's a lot of undeserving heat on Derrick James. I think Derrick James, like he said in the interview, he trains his fighters. He doesn't dictate their career and tell them what to do. And that is the type of relationship that they have. And if we're honest, it's worked all this time. It's worked with Charlo. Spence was unified. Charlo's undisputed. And now all of a sudden, Derrick James is just so terrible. Like, I don't think that's fair.
No, you're right.
This is what I think. I think everybody think that Derrick James got a lot of influence, and you kind of think of Rocky and Mickey. You know what I'm saying? Where he told Rocky, "Don't fight this guy; he'll kill you within 3 rounds." You know what I'm saying? And you want him to have that kind of like, insight in what EJ would respect, what Derrick James would say. Hey man, you're not looking good. It took you too long to make 147. You're staying at the weight too long. And give him that kind of advice. And EJ be like, yeah, I hear you. But, I'm going to give it a try anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I want Derrick James to be that trainer that put his foot down and say, hey, man, you're not throwing 100 punches around because you can't fight at that weight. Somebody who will listen to, somebody who he will respect. And I don't think Derrick James has that kind of power over EJ at this point in his career. He just kind of like seemed like he just shows up for work. I'm a do what I do. I'm gonna tell you what I gotta say. You take the advice or not, and we'll go from there. And that's what it seemed like it is with Derrick James. I just wish he had more influence over EJ, being that they've been together for 15 years. That he would listen to that man and be like, hey man, this is a legacy fight. It's very important. This is even bigger than the Kell Brook fight. You know what I'm saying? They've been through a lot together. So you want to see Derrick James have that kind of influence over EJ, and it looked like he don't. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of confuses you as to what kind of influence do Derrick James have? What kind of input does he have with Jamil Charlo? You know what I'm saying? Can he get through to them? You know what I'm saying? And a coach that can't get through to his fighters puts them at a disadvantage. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with all that was just said, like especially the part with 2 Cents said Errol Spence is arrogant. Yeah, you know what? That's right, bro. Then the thing is, bro, Errol Spence, you've been arrogant your whole career, but I mean, bro, you in your 30s now. 30s is when you get humble. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true.
You need to get humble. You know what I'm saying? You're not that man you was when you was 25. You're not him no more. Far as you know what I'm saying. But I ain't saying he can't perform. Like, what I'm saying is, when you get older, bro, your body is unforgiving. So you can't be like, you know what, I'm gonna stay at a weight longer than I can because I know I'm just gonna pull through. Like, you can't have that mentality in your 30s. You got to put yourself in optimal position to be successful at all times, because you never know when your body gonna quit on you. You don't know. I think.
Yeah, it's the same thing for a lot of these Earl Spence fanboys that were on the Earl Spence's tip. Now they're after going over to fucking boot.
What was that?
I don't know. The Highlander came in here saying something.
He already came in here with the bull. LA, nah, you gotta go, bro.
Zach B, I'm not talking about him listening to the fans. I'm not referring to Earl listening to fans at all. I'm referring to Earl listening to his team and the people around him.
I think that this is a wake-up call for Errol Spence, and everybody have to go through that in life, what I'm saying, wake-up call. And me personally, I was listening to an interview with Sugar Shane Mosley. He was talking about how he was weight drained for a fight, and he was talking about how you can see the punches come, but you can't do nothing about it because you don't have enough energy. So in that fight between Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence was actually fighting against himself and Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have the strength to do everything that he needed to do. So I believe that if he at least gained the weight, since he's moving up to 154 at 7 more pounds, and also, after the weigh-in, you'll be able to rehydrate up a little higher. That and everything in your camp being, 100, no injuries, what I'm saying, other things that did happen in the first training camp, I believe that Errol Spence will be able to perform like he's supposed to. And I did a video a while back showing that how Errol Spence took all of Terrence Crawford's best shots, even though he was, drained and also had the complications of situations in his training camp, that he was not 100%, because in that interview after the fight, Errol Spence said that Terrence Crawford came ready and 100%, but he never said he was 100%. So for Errol Spence to be able to take the best shots of Terrence Crawford, that just tells me, that if Errol Spence is least, because some people say that, you'll never be 100% in the fight, and I understand that. But if Errol Spence comes ready, I think that far as the punch power that Terrence Crawford have, because Terrence Crawford looked stronger because Errol Spence was weak. Terrence Crawford looked faster because Errol Spence was slow, and it all had something to do with him being weight drained. So if Errol Spence comes ready, I think we will see a different fight.
Mm-hmm. Now, I think that everybody keep talking about it's the mindset. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't know how much weight that it's a lot of information that we don't have. We don't know how much weight he had to actually cut. I think a lot of us put ourselves in Errol Spence Jr.'s shoes without having to do the training. So how much weight did he have to cut, to make weight? Looked like everything was about another fat camp. Now that we look, we're on the inside a little bit, got a little bit more information. They were saying that he was coming from 180. And then, the way they run those sparring sessions, he keeps getting injured in sparring. Look like sparring is the detriment of a lot of fighters here. They're getting injured. So he had the eye retina surgery. He got his eye messed up, when the Pacquiao fight was coming, and he couldn't fight that one. Now he had a little bit of a rib injury in this sparring. What the hell are they doing in sparring? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you shouldn't be sparring that hard, bro. And I know that they try to fight, in the sparring camps, but you can't do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because it look like you're getting banged up, and it's affecting your performances in your big fights. And that's something that got me worried about the rematch. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you're going to have to do some sparring because you haven't had a tune-up. You know what I'm saying? So you're going to have to make up for it for somehow to get your sharpness back. So, you're going to have to get in that gym, and you're going to have to risk injury again. You know what I'm saying? How much recuperation does Errol Spence Jr. have to do, and how much sparring he's going to be able to get in to prepare for the second fight, or are they going to push the fight back so this man can have a better, camp this time? So those are the questions that we have. So we didn't know this before the first fight, that he was having these problems in camps. So if he, to me, if he was 100% of himself, we would have got a competitive fight. We would have got we know that Errol Spence Jr. wouldn't have been Bud Crawford's easiest fight, bro. That's just common sense. So I'm worried going into the rematch, is Derrick James going to, beat up for him? Because he got all these other fighters, not because he don't have the ability, just because he has more fighters in his camp now. I mean, is he going to be able to, help EJ get mentally prepared, physically prepared? Is he going to have enough time to get Jamel ready for Canelo? Is he going to, It's like, it's just so much going on in this camp right now. And it's not that I have less confidence in Derrick James and his ability. It's just that, can he organize that time, that championship caliber work rate that he has? Can he like really, get that behind EJ, what he, give him everything he needs, and get Jamel ready for Canelo at the same time, and work with all these other guys that he got. Something got to give, y'all. Something got to give. I mean, y'all see what I'm going? Y'all see what I mean by this?
Yeah, it sounds like you need to get Tarvin. What's going on, Pool? What's up, panel? What's going
What's
on?
up, Steve?
Hey, man, you can't be thrashing me in the comment like that. I'm Bird Gang.
You who? Oh, okay.
I said, what chopping me off up here? Let me get on this damn podcast.
Well, if I saw your name, you know how we do.
But no, man. But everything you said is valid, man. It's really like, it's kind of like what he said to Bomack is what he's gonna have to do. And that was very telling,
Talking about the team. You're talking about the team.
Yeah, talking about like, I think I see 3 other trainers, and it was like, dude, like you're doing all this by yourself. That's not good. You're gonna need somebody to, take care of the mitts. You can't hold the mitts for everybody. I mean, those are real points, because if Errol came in that camp and I was hearing closer to 190, that's, somebody got to wake him up. Hey, man, it's time to go. You got to get up, and you got to be ready for this fight, because if you can't wake up for this fight, what's going on? There's something deeper than just boxing going on, because you supposed to came into this camp ready for action. It wasn't supposed to be a fat camp. It wasn't supposed to be none of that. It's supposed to came in there straight with the mentality of, I'm about to go to war with somebody that you got to bring your lunch pail for. I mean, and that's just it.
Right. I mean, I agree. I mean, what do you think, D-Town? You there, D? D-Town. What do you guys? Anybody else got any thoughts on that? Where everybody at? Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about that, man? Did you hear what he said?
Nah, I went to the store just now, so I ain't hear what he just said.
Everybody doing stuff.
What happened? Say it again.
Yeah, but that's what I think. I mean, it's like, you would think that this is all that Errol Spence Jr. would be thinking about, right? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how much weight he had to cut, right? It's like, so you're thinking like, damn, I'm thinking he's learned from the past. He's had fat camps in the past, and he's going to use that time, that extra time that Crawford was giving him to get in shape. Saying to come in there and just work on all the skills he needs to beat Crawford. I think I got a back.
Yeah, we got an echo.
Oh yeah. So he would use all that time to prepare for this fight. He knew how important this fight was, especially to the fans and everything that follow him. So I'm just like, wow, bro. It's like, damn, how did you miss this moment? How did you miss this moment, bro? I'm just dumbfounded, saying like, damn, you wanted undisputed that bad that you was allowed yourself to be put at a disadvantage when you the A side, You know, looking back on it now, I would like screw Crawford, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude is playing games. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like
I've been. That's the thing is, I had been saying that too, bro. About Ben. We had talked about that, man. He need to move up. Don't let this dude wait. I knew that's what he was doing, bro. He was waiting you out, letting you stay at that way too long, right? But I think, like how you said, why would Spence miss that moment like this? I think Spence was pressured into this fight, being that I think Spence knew he wasn't ready. Because I don't know if y'all knew, but BFTB came out and said he had news that Errol Spence got injured in training camp and he wasn't able to spar for 6 weeks.
That's crazy.
So, right. And you know why I believe it? Why the reason I believe it is because, like, no homo, bro. But since I've been watching Spence, this dude usually come into the weigh-in with a 9 or a 10 pack. Right? Like that's how defined his abs be when he come up there. This time we came to Crawford, you can barely see his abs. So that what that do is that gives credence to the information that I got that he hurt his ribs. Because think about it, if you have a rib injury, you can't work abs like you normally work your abs. So he came in, his abs was less defined, he was smaller. And like I said, bro, I think he was forced to take this fight because one thing, like he couldn't turn around and be like, well, you know what, I had an injury. What happened when he had a real injury that even the doctors verified? You had Bernard Hopkins, or was it Roy Jones? One of them talking about something, I need proof. Because if not, you just trying to duck Pacquiao. Like Spence know that he can't do what Bud Crawford do. He can't just prolong a fight and still get the benefit of the doubt. So once he got injured or whatever, I still got to fight Crawford because nobody gonna give me the benefit of doubt and just allow me to be a human that got hurt in sparring.
And I don't think it's lack of dedication. I just think that he couldn't accept that he was done with the weight class. I think that's where the arrogance come in, especially with like a Devin Haney. You know what I'm saying? When you got rivals. Like if you've been out of weight class for 10 years and you beating all the best in the division, right? And you wasn't even 100% of yourself, it gives you a false sense of what you can, your abilities, right? So when you finally do fight one of the top guys, you got to come to grips that, hey man, I can't fight at 147. I'm not the same. You know what I'm saying? I've been at the weight too long, and then you fight your greatest rival, right? At the weight class when you're done with it, right? It's like somebody should have been in Errol Spence Jr. corner to say, hey man, you know what I'm saying? I know the money's good and everything, but fight that man at a weight you can fight him at. Even Mayweather came out and saying that Spence shouldn't be fighting at that weight. You know what I'm saying? And if the great Floyd Mayweather looks at something from his boxing mind and say, this man can't fight at them weights. Even Paulo Malignaggi came out and said that, Spence can't fight drained at those weights anymore. At a certain point in time, your body outgrows those little junior weights like that. Spence started out at 154. So he started out at 154 for a reason. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a big dude. So they're already killing themselves every training camp, you know what I'm saying, to take out all the, the vitamins and all the energy out their body to get down to those little small weights. You can only do that for so long. And I think it just caught up with Spence all up in one fight. And we hate to see it catch up with them all at one time. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kind of disappointed that them being professionals, that they didn't see this. They didn't know this. Why didn't they know these things? And why would they, you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck how much pressure somebody put on you. If you can't fight at the weight, bro, you can't fight at the weight. You got to go to the next weight. You see Virgil Ortiz passing out, you know what I'm saying, before fights, going to the hospital, trying to make 147. Bro, take your ass up to 154. Take your ass up to 154. You know what I'm saying? Because you about to die trying to fight at 147. Why? You know what I'm saying? You could be just as good. There's a lot of good fighters up at 154 right now that can't make it at 147 because it's just too small. As you get older, your body needs food, bro. Your body needs energy. You know what I'm saying? So EJ is no different. He made his bones at 147, but it was too late. He just too many years outside the ring, too much inactivity. You know what I'm saying? Car crashes and all that stuff. He had to stay. I mean, he stayed out the ring too long, bro. I do believe if he would have fought Bud Crawford after that Ugas fight, it would have been a competitive fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he was active and, you know what I'm saying, his skills was right there with him. And then he goes on for 15 months, you know what I'm saying, without being in the ring like that. So these things are going to hurt these fighters in the future. You know, the more you stay out, it was, we laughed at Crawford that he fought David Avenesian, but shit, he was able to get into the ring and he was able to keep his skills going. You know what I'm saying? Which was smart.
And,
you know what I'm saying?
And not to cut you off, but that's what I meant by maybe those nobodies were somebody, because you get a chance to work on certain things. You get a chance to work on what you're going to need for that next opponent. And that's the whole point of a tune-up. That's the whole point of it. You know you're gonna smoke this guy, but I'm in here working on my inside game. You know, I'm gonna let him live for 4 rounds, then I'm gonna take him on out of here. But I need those 4 rounds with the bright lights, with the crowd, with the old oohs and ahs, all that stuff that you're not gonna get in sparring. You can't recreate in fight. You can't recreate that magic that goes on in there. And that stuff is really important, and that's the reason it's a part of the game.
Well, it's the activity that's important. It's the activity. You know, you can't be an athlete, stay out the ring 465 days and think you're going to be, the best. You know what I'm saying? When you're just going to pop back in there 16 months later and still be, one time, EJ said 50% of me is better than these guys. You know what I'm saying? Not at 33 is not. At 33, no, you need to be in there. You need to stay busy. You need to stay active. And that's what I saw. In this rematch, I want to see the best of Errol Spence Jr. And I think I can deal with that. You know what I'm saying? I want to see him at 100% of himself. And if I see 100% of EJ in there and Crawford beat him, I'll be like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Crawford's, he's that man. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a strategic win. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see a win outside the ring that beats this man. I want to see both fighters fighting at their best. And I know it's hard to do that because in boxing, you never know what fighters are, you know what I'm saying, in a personal way. So when you saw Roger Mayweather and Sweet Pea fight, you don't know how they were feeling that night, you know what I'm saying, even though that was a hell of a fight. But these guys you could see physically they were at their best, you know what I'm saying, and the best man won that night, which was Sweet Pea, right? I want to see those kind of fights. I don't want to see one guy that's drained, one guy that was held down at a division too long. I want to see both guys fighting when they're going through mugs. You know what I'm saying? Not making excuses. I'm with Top Rank or, I can't fight him because this or that. No, bro, I want to see you guys go in there when you're rampaging through the division and y'all meet up and fight. You know what I'm saying? Not all this strategic stuff like, Canelo fighting Jamel after 16 months out the ring. Now, I'm not saying that I think Jamel still could beat him, but I want Jamel to be at his best, and I want Derrick James to have the time to give him his best training. And I'm worried. That's what got me worried about everything. Is Derrick James going to be able to do that? And I just wish I could be a fly on the wall in training camp just to see, how much time he's actually giving these fighters. And I'm not down on Derrick James. It's just that he is the trainer. He is the guy that looking at how they're hitting the pads. He's looking at how are they preparing, what they're looking like. You know what I'm saying? Do it look like he could beat Canelo Alvarez? Does it look like he could beat Bud Crawford? If he's weight drained, he don't look like that. He don't look like he could go with Bud Crawford. He's not fast enough. His reflexes ain't right. You know what I'm saying? These kind of things I want Derrick James to, be there for these guys and give them an honest answer. Hey, man, you're going to go out there and get your ass whipped, bro, because you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Yeah. But you remember Spence said that in the lead up to it, like that's what Derrick James do. He was like, he'll tell you what you want to hear. And, but sometimes, you need that other voice in there, man. And you got to have that team. You got to build that team around, for each fight is different. You can't say the one thing that'll make this one get up that to the other one. You might have to tell Jamel, like, here come Caleb Plant.
I think what
that's Jamal he slapped though. I thought it was Jamel too. I thought it was Jamel. Go ahead. What you say, D? Go ahead.
What I see is that first of all, Errol Spence, like Blu-ray said that Errol Spence couldn't lose weight like he normally lose weight because of what happened in the training camp. So that led me to believe that Errol Spence did have a rib injury. So it was that Errol Spence couldn't do a lot of things that he normally do in the training camp because he had to wait it out because of the rib injury. So I believe that if the rib injury was not a factor, I believe that Errol Spence would have looked better in the ring and things like that, even if he was weight drained, because he would have lost the weight properly, like he normally did. But since he had to lose the weight a different way, I think it hurted him in that fight and stuff like that. And we have to take accountability that was a big, problem, in this fight. So we can say maybe it's Derrick James, we can say it's this and that and that, but I think it all boiled down first that he was injured. Then we can always put like extra blocks on top of this. So you build the foundation. He was injured, then you start building from there. So if they could keep Errol Spence from getting injured in training camp, and he's able now he's able to put on a little bit more muscle, a little more weight. Now he can deal with Blu-ray. You know what I'm saying? Then I think that everything would look good. I think that Errol Spence would be able to go in there and manhandle Terrence Crawford like he did with Kell Brook, and things like that, or other fighters. I think that he won't get tired, because we never seen Errol Spence tired. So he was tired. You know what I'm saying? He looked weak. So all those things played a factor. And if he could correct that, the foundation, I think everything else will be all right.
And so let me ask you, what do you think this rematch would look like if Errol Spence Jr. is 100%? He didn't. Let's say he don't have any injuries in camp. You know what I'm saying? He's able to go in there. It's almost like we got a reset going on here, and we got 100% EJ and 100% Bud. What do you think that fight looked like, D-Town?
Well, we know EJ will have more power. You know what I'm saying? Because I see EJ hit Terrence Crawford flush like 2 or 3 times, and Terrence Crawford took it like Terminator. You know what I'm saying? And we know that we seen Terrence Crawford got hit by Mean Machine and went down. We seen him get hurt by Gamboa. So me personally, I think that the substance that he is taking from Victor Conte is helping him in some kind of way. I'm not saying it's illegal substance. What I'm saying is that whatever he got, it helps Terrence Crawford, because Terrence Crawford and them is paying their money to Victor Conte for that straight, that good. So evidently whatever he got is working. But then also too, Errol Spence was weak. So that's like saying I took 20% from Errol Spence and gave 20% to Terrence Crawford. So it was a mismatch. So we can't do nothing about what Terrence Crawford is getting from Victor Conte. All Errol Spence need to do is come in there ready. I think he'll have more power. We saw that Errol Spence could take Terrence Crawford punches. So that, we know that he will be able to get past that. And also too, we know that Errol Spence won't stand in front of Terrence Crawford. But like Sugar Shane Moses said, that when you drain and when you're tired and stuff like that, you can see the punches come, but you can't do nothing because you're so exhausted to where your body is not moving or acting with your brain. You know what I'm saying? We all know that when we tired from work, get back home, we try to go outside and play basketball and things like that. You try to do a layup, you don't even come off the ground. You're still on the ground. You know what I'm saying? You up in there dunking the whole time, you ain't never left the ground. So I can understand him weight drained and his body is not, working. He's fighting against his own body. So if all that is corrected, then I think EJ will be able to go in there and muscle Terrence Crawford. Now, I always gave Terrence Crawford a chance to beat Errol Spence. I gave Errol Spence a 60% chance of beating Terrence Crawford. I gave Terrence Crawford a 40% chance of beating Errol Spence. Then I also said I can be wrong. You know what I'm saying? It could go the other way around where Crawford have 60 and Errol Spence have 40. So I never said that Terrence Crawford couldn't beat Errol Spence. I just was going for Errol Spence off the old Errol Spence. But we never could predict that Errol Spence would have had an injury. We never could predict that Errol Spence would have, be that kind of Errol Spence. We never saw that. We was, judging off of what we saw in his past fights. So if Errol Spence come ready, I think our judgment in the first fight, what we thought would have been, will be for the second fight.
And so this is what I think. This is another thing people not paying attention to. Like I pointed out that he probably had a rib injury. It's too much evidence that's pointing towards that. Like I said, the biggest evidence is his physique during the weigh-in. His physique during the weigh-in let you know that he was not able to invest in his abs like he normally do. So that tells me that something was wrong with his abdominal region. Another thing people don't realize, when you hurt your ribs, most people look at ribs like, okay, so his ribs is hurt, he didn't spar. So why was he slow and off and tired? Well, you know, when you hurt your rib, that's a part of your body that kind of controls everything. If you got a rib injury, you can't jog either. It's too painful. Every step Errol Spence wouldn't be able to do road work if he have a real rib injury either. So they tell me that probably for 6 weeks, they say he couldn't spar for 6 weeks, so he probably couldn't do a lot for 6 weeks. It's possible that out of those, those 6 weeks, he wasn't able to do nothing. For all we know, all he was able to do when he healed up was take a short fat camp to drop weight and make weight. For all we know, that's all he was able to do is make weight. That's it.
But look at his weigh-in. When he weighed in, you can see a bulge on his side, on one side. You can see it kind of bulged out a little bit. I did a video on it. You can see. So I let you know that he did have a rib injury because my son, he was shot 6 times and survived, and he had a problem with his ribs. He had to wear something around his body to help his ribs to correct, but he didn't wear it, so you can see like a little bulge, and that's what I saw on Errol Spence in the weigh-in.
And let me tell y'all something. Did y'all notice where Crawford, where he was aiming during the fight, what he was hitting, where he was hitting Errol?
Yeah.
Did y'all notice where he was hitting Errol? He was hitting Errol right up under them damn ribs on the inside. Anytime he got a chance, he was hitting Errol in them ribs, bro, right up under his arms and shit. You know what I'm saying? I was like, what is going on here? Why is he hitting him there? You know what I'm saying? Not that, you know what I'm saying, you can't, but he was putting a focus on it. And I think he put, somebody, I mean, let me tell you something. They be having inside information, bro. They be having inside information. You can't tell me that these fighters don't be having what you call them, spies in their camps. Letting them know what's going on, getting paid. You know what I'm saying? What's happening? Because Mayweather be knowing everything that's going on in his opposition. He knows when they eat. He knows when they're working out. He knows everything. And the way Crawford went in there, he went in there like he knew the man was injured during training camp or something. The word had got out. Even because remember when Tank said that he knew Ryan had got hurt in the ribs. Where did Tank go? He went for the body, right? He went for the ribs. You know what I'm saying? These guys be knowing, bro. Boxing is a small world, and I think it got out that EJ wasn't 100, and he went it. That's why he wore the fishnet. That's why he came in there with the extra swag and all that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Paul, you want to know something else too? Want to know something else too? I don't know. I'm not. I don't want to get too religious, but I'm a spiritual guy. One thing that I say, EJ's camp, this was a big factor. They took God out of that camp, because when Derrick James was on all that stuff, he said he's studying Buddhism and all that other crap. And I was paying attention to Terrence Crawford, man. Like, before he went in that ring, he prayed before he went in that ring. Like, even after the fight, he thanked God. And I think Derrick James took God out of that camp, and that's a major factor too.
Well, I'm a spiritual guy too. I'm actually a minister, but we seen people that's not spiritual also, win also. You know what I'm saying? So it works on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. I'd rather have God on my side than the devil. But that also God allows the wicked to be blessed also. And I'm not saying that Errol Spence is wicked. I'm not saying that, but we don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's always good to have God on your side. But me personally, I just think that they came up short in the count. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the big factor. You know what I'm saying? In everything. Yeah. And you always want to give God the knowledge in everything you do. So that's number one. No matter if I say it or not, that's number one. But I think that if EJ and them, like I say, come, don't get injured, do what they supposed to. And I do believe that Terrence Crawford did know, because after that fight when he beat EJ, he didn't look excited. Now, don't get me wrong, that was dancing and stuff.
Yeah, I said that too.
He didn't look excited.
He actually looked kind of concerned when he went over there with Spence, like he knew it was something already up with him.
Yeah, because he beat his ass like, sorry, Pastor. Because he beat that boy like he stole out his mama purse. We gonna have to keep it real on here. Yeah. That man could from round three. Let me speak with P, man. Yo, that man really could have done him worse. And didn't. I mean, for real, I saw the same thing, and I don't even want to get y'all on the Tyson Fury, but I saw the same thing with Tyson Fury with tagging while he could have really hurt that guy. but in respect as a warrior, he didn't do him as dirty as he really could have. If he didn't like him, it could have really been a whole nother story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why you got to be good to people. You got to be nice to people.
If you know you juicing, you know what I'm saying? Why would you feel good about that victory? If you know you taking juice, you wouldn't feel good about it. You know what I'm saying?
You can't say that, Paul. I agree that Bud knew something was wrong, but y'all, for all the people who saying that Spence wasn't drained, like you got to look at the proof is in the pudding. Like I said, Crawford wasn't too excited, and like you said, he was concerned for the man. You hear Bomack. Bomack said, "Well, look, if EJ was drained, Derrick James should have did something about it." Bomack didn't shoot that shit down like it was crazy because these dudes know fighting. They both was keeping it real, even though they was on the other side. They know they didn't fight a real 100% Errol Spence. They know this. That's why Bomack didn't shoot that shit down when they said, well, you know, people saying EJ was drained. Bomack didn't shoot that down as it was impossible. He didn't.
Well, even Demetrius Andrade, all of them are saying that, you know, Sugar Shane Mosley, you know what I'm saying? They say, I mean, hell, just open your eyes.
Have you ever?
Hold on. I mean, does Errol Spence Jr. fight? I mean, is he tired after one round, bro? I mean, come on. I mean, we don't have to like really push a narrative here. I mean, you saw the fight. The man looked dead in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's just a fact. This ain't got shit to do with hope or well wishing. The man didn't look like himself. Even before they got into the ring, his eyes were half cut. You know what I'm saying? He looked like he was sick before he came to the ring. That's because he pulled everything he had to make 147. And that's what everybody was saying to him. You know what I'm saying? That you can't fight at that weight no more, bro. Every weight got an expiration date. And if you're going to fight the best dude you ever fought, when you weight drain, that's what's going to happen to you. You see what I'm saying?
Hey, another thing, too, for the whole panel, I got a question for everybody on here. What the hell was that Sanders guy doing, dude?
Sanders?
The strictly conditioning coach he had.
Man, it don't matter. He was trying to get down to the weight. You know what I'm saying? He was trying to, you know, if you, like Pastor said, you know, if you got a rib injury and you're not able to spar, you're not able to prepare properly, this is the outcome. Because the other guy's going 100%. He's straight. You know what I'm saying? It's having a bad camp versus having a good camp. So it don't matter what you do. If you a part of your camp, you can't finish your strengthening conditioning, then that's what you look like, bro. You know what I'm saying? The problem with Spence is he getting hurt in these camps. I don't know how they running these camps or whatever, you know what I'm saying? On the night that he lose, it's just going to be that he lost. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's my problem. That's why I said, how can he miss this moment when you had all this time to you know, take your time and train? You know what I'm saying? How much weight did you put on? So that's why I'm concerned about Derrick James, like really having more of influence on EJ, because it looked like he would have been telling him, hey man, hey, you got to watch it, man. You know what I'm saying? You can't be blowing up like that. Not in your 30s, bro. You know, we saw it with Duran, what he looked like when he blowed up, you know what I'm saying, and tried to come back down. You know what I'm saying? When you go up and you come back down, you know, you having a fat camp, you know, and I don't want to see that at this point in his career, not being a 3-belt unified champion. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay on top of your stuff. And I thought that's what his fans thought he was doing, was he had learned this lesson. He even said it. He had learned this lesson to stay close to his weight. And that's what we thought he was doing. But now it coming out that, you know, he was 190 cutting down, like, bro. And see, I think that's another thing that the Crawford team, that's why they kept him out the ring for so long, because they wanted him to blow up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm serious. They wanted him to have no discipline, you know what I'm saying, and lose sight, you know what I'm saying, of not staying within the range of the weight. You know, when he was in range after the Ugas fight, you know, so they didn't want to see that they're not trying to fight these guys at their best. You know, they're not trying to fight. They don't want to fight a guy when he's 100% of himself. They want to fight him when he's at his least. So they want to finagle the time. They want to play all these games and hopefully, you know what I'm saying, his discipline will fall off and he'll gain weight and all this shit. No, bro, fight right after this guy. You know what I'm saying? You want to fight you want the best. You want to know that everybody see that you're the best. You know what I'm saying? Not fight a dude that when he's off. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing about the Crawford camp is that, yeah, they did their thing, but shit, you know what I'm saying? You want to fight, you want a good fight. You want a historical fight. And hopefully at 154, that's what's going to happen. Hopefully these 7 pounds that he could put on, that he'll have access to everything. I don't know how much he can grab in this short period of time, but I want to see 100% EJ fight Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Then I think we'll know what we know. But see, now that Undisputed has passed, you know what I'm saying? This is the games and tricks that they play in boxing. They try to act like training camps don't matter. They try to act like, you know what I'm saying, the actual preparation don't matter. You know what I'm saying? Being 100% matters, bro, in the ring. If you can't come in 100% of yourself, yeah, you might get beat. But shit, that's not the best of you. You're not seeing the true outcome of a fight. If somebody was injured in sparring or whatever, it goes into the record book as a win. But what if EJ comes back and just beat the crap out of Crawford? What y'all gonna say then?
Yeah,
what y'all
true.
Gonna say then? What if he comes back? What if he come back? Now just follow me down this logic. What if he comes back, beat the hell out of Crawford? You know what I'm saying? And then what y'all gonna say? Okay, that was 100% Spence. You know what I'm saying? The man had access to his stamina. He had access to everything he needed to beat Crawford. You know, or if they just have a historical fight where it's just nonstop action, you know what I'm saying? One little thing, you know what I'm saying, sways the outcome of the fight. You could say, okay, damn, now that's what we were talking about. But to see Bud Crawford come in there and just push Spence over with a jab, you know what I'm saying? See this man tired after one round. Have y'all ever seen that in an Errol Spence Jr. fight? No matter who he's fighting, even with Kell Brook, you know what I'm saying, which was his first championship fight, you never see nobody push EJ back with just a jab or dominate him like that. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like, get out of here with that, bro.
And the way he was getting hit, pulled, it was just like, God damn. I'm like,
getting hit flush in the face with the same goddamn jab. Are you serious?
When that usually happens, that's what make you tired. You tired of getting hit in the damn forehead.
Hey, Paul, I'm gonna be real honest, panel. I'm gonna be very honest, man. I think that Derrick James underestimated Crawford as well, exactly, because he kept talking about. I don't think so. And breaking his ribs.
I don't think so. I think it's a combination of what D-Town was saying. Like he just knew he wasn't 100%. He did everything he could just to make the weight. I think, you know, with the Crawford team, weighed him out, and I think he should have fought Crawford right after Ugas, and when he was still active and he was still in shape, instead of, you know, all that waiting out the ring 16 months and getting injured and stuff. All that played into him. You know what happened to him. You know, whether he had 6 weeks or 4 weeks he couldn't spar. I think that all played a part into the performance that we saw. But he can't take the performance back. All he can do is move forward to 154 and try to do better. You know what I'm saying? And try to get it all back. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I'm at with it, to see if he can perform better at 154 and get all his energy and all his stamina back and be able to go in there and beat Bud Crawford. Can he do that in such a short period of time? What's going on, Mr. Turner, in the building? What's going on?
What up? What up? Can you hear me good?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. All right, so two things real quick. The first one is, I don't know if y'all realize when Errol Spence said, you guys remember the first outfit he wore where he had the black straps over his shoulders with that dress shirt? I told you that he was wearing that on purpose because he was going to pull his guns out. That's what he was wearing, it like a holster. That's just what his mindset for it. But the second thing is, do you think that he didn't train? Everyone on the panel and everyone in the chat, do you guys think that he did not train with Blu-ray because of the rib injury? He couldn't go that hard? Because I heard that Blu-ray, he trains people to the extreme, so maybe that's why he didn't choose Blu-ray for this camp.
Yeah, I think that I think that's a big part of it. I think Blu-ray is a you know, saying is an intensive fanatic when it comes to digging down deep. And I just think he said something. He mentioned something about it's a strain on his body in the past. And I think he understands if he take Blu-ray on, what kind of training camp it's going to be.
Yeah,
But you
that's
know
what
what? My thing is too. All he had to do is just tell Blue, like, if it was too extraneous, be like, "Hey, bro," like, because I remember him mentioning like he was so sore during sparring because of the Blu-ray workout, which is kind of why he veered away. But bro, all you gotta do is just communicate that, bro, and Blu-ray will set it up to where you know what I mean, to where you good.
Yeah, I hear you on that, but when you think about Errol Spence's mentality, he doesn't like to look weak. He doesn't want to look weak at all. So, like, if he would have told Blu-ray that, he was probably protecting himself to where he doesn't want anyone to know that he has that injury. Because, yeah, him and Blu-ray are cool, but still, if you put that information out there, who knows if Blu-ray would tell somebody or not tell somebody. I'm just saying what he could be thinking in his head. Maybe that's why he didn't tell him. But I'm going to hop off right now.
I highly doubt Blu-ray tell
The money
anybody,
chat.
man.
I just want to say this to John Norrie. You know, saying EJ fans never went anywhere. I mean, y'all be putting these narratives out here. You know, saying I know you're trolling, but y'all put these narratives out there, like saying like like we went somewhere. You see my videos. You know what I'm saying? You see my live streams. We ain't never went nowhere, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like stop putting that propaganda stuff out there. You know, nobody ain't afraid of no talking ass Bud Crawford fan. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I don't know why they be talking about like, you know what I'm saying, like we went somewhere. They create these, saying these perfect narratives, like like we were scared to show. No, bro. I mean, we right after the fight. I was live that night. I was live the next day. I was live the day after that. What are you talking about?
That's facts. What it is they like. I noticed something about a lot of Crawford fans. They like to use reverse psychology and try to turn a lie into the truth. The Spence fans never went nowhere, and that's what they mad about. They thought we was gonna be destroyed. They thought we was gonna say, well, you know what? Errol Spence not that good. Hey, Errol Spence, if you fight him again, we know Terrence Crawford gonna beat you. That's what they want to hear. They bothered because Errol Spence fans didn't go nowhere.
Right. I'm like, bro, I'm here 247. Unless I got a load or something. I'm gonna be here, bro. This boxing's been around before Errol Spence Jr. and Bud Crawford. Boxing has been here, saying before these. I've been doing boxing before Errol Spence Jr., bro. I've been watching boxing before Bud Crawford was a boxer. I've been watching these fights. So, for you guys that just Bud Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. fans, there's nothing wrong with that. But you got to understand, this ain't my first rodeo. Seeing your favorite boxer that lost. So, y'all got to understand how to take it and how to give it. So, I know y'all want to milk this thing, but they got another fight coming. So at some point, y'all gonna have to stop taking your little victory lap and get into the next fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, also, you know what I was saying too, man? I was just telling somebody the other day, man. You got a lot of these fans, man. They're new fans. So when their favorite fighter win, they automatically just label EJ as a bum, man. But like, what if the fans back then would have called Ali a bum since he lost to Frazier, or called Lennox Lewis a bum because he lost against Oliver McCall? You know what I'm saying? It's just these new fans, man. They not really tuned in to boxing. And as soon as somebody lose, you just take away all their accolades and all their skill in the ring. Like Spence is still like a great fighter. Like he had 3 of the belts, and I don't think a lot of these fans don't understand how hard it is to get to the Olympics, man. You gotta do so many like tournaments. You gotta do the Pan Ams. It's just so much stuff you gotta do to even get to the Olympics, man. Like Spence is a great fighter, man. You don't.
Well, my thing is he got one loss, and then what I'm saying, you got to be at your best. What I'm saying, when you lose at your best, what I'm saying, I mean that tells a different story. Now, when you lose at your worst, you know what I'm saying, because in boxing sometimes you got to fight 2-3 times. You know what I'm saying, to figure out.
They're not even in acknowledging that he did all the heavy lifting. He the one.
That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in this day and age.
Terrence got one fight and got all the belts. He didn't. I mean, what you mean? Spence been fighting champion after champion after champion, and then Terrence fight him, and then now he a bum. Like, what are y'all talking about? You can't manufacture that.
Let me put what John Kramer said. He said Blu-ray said EJ's strength his strength and conditioning looked like he was doing rehab. So you know what I'm saying, like, so maybe it's something he was saying to the rib injury, and he couldn't spar for a while. I mean, these things are coming out. I told you things was going to come out after the fight because the way he looked in the ring, and things were going to come out, and we were going to start finding out what happened. And EJ can't put it out. Derrick James can't put it out. But, you know what I'm saying, they're going to make, Dallas going to make sure things get out, you know what I'm saying, that happened to him up in that training camp. So what that kind of gives credence to what his performance was. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Jay.
Oh no, yeah, that's what I was saying. I was just, it's just crazy how they're just trying to delete everything Errol Spence Jr. has done, and they're trying to do the same thing to Derrick James. And I just think it's crazy, because if Bud would have lost, nobody would be trying to take all the accolades that he continued to talk about away.
You know what else too? Everything that Errol Spence did to lead up to this fight. See, they keep telling us to give Terrence Crawford credit, but they don't want to give credit to Errol Spence for collecting all the belts. They don't want to give credit to Errol Spence for saying that he's not fighting Keith Thurman. They don't want to give credit to Errol Spence by saying he actually wanted this fight, and he gave Terrence Crawford things that he did that Al Heyman and them didn't want to give Terrence Crawford to make this fight. So they don't want to give Errol Spence credit for anything, but they want us to give Terrence Crawford credit. But we giving Terrence Crawford credit for beating Errol Spence. We're not taking away what he has done, but we just telling you that was not 100% Errol Spence. That's all we saying. And they keep saying we're making excuses. We're not making excuses. We actually giving you a reason why something happened. That's the difference.
And I don't think they're not understanding the difference between an observation and excuse. Now, if I say the reason Errol Spence Jr. lost the fight is because he was ... then that's an excuse. But if I say Errol didn't look like himself in the fight, then that's an observation. I'm not saying that if Errol was himself, he would have won the fight. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what I saw when I seen the fight. That's not an excuse. It's almost like you can't say nothing, like just zip your lips and lock it and throw away the key.
You know why? Because this gangbang in boxing has gotten out of control. I ain't never heard so much. I ain't never heard so many blood crip conversations. Just replace it with Bud and replace it with Spence. And no matter what you say, it's going to be wrong. And I tell these folks all the time, I'm a fan of boxing. I'm a fan of boxing. I watch that shit. If my guy get knocked out, I'm going to say, ooh, just like if the guy I'm going against is, oh, I'm going to do the same thing. But this stuff has gotten crazy. It's gotten out of hand, and it's game banging in boxing.
You sure you ain't buy Bud Crawford draws out of Walmart? I think he got his draws on Walmart. Nah. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, Lord. I'm gonna tell you. Just listen from the outside looking in. I done heard Spence got hurt. I done heard Bud was juiced up like Canelo. I heard he taking GNC pills. I heard it. I don't heard it all, man. It'd be
but really in the rematch though, you know what I'm saying? I just want Errol Spence Jr. to be 100%, and I know Bud's going to do what he do. You know what I'm saying, to come in now 100%, and I just want to see Spence be 100% of himself and give himself the best chance to win. Now, I do hate that Undisputed that has passed. I do hate that for him, but I do think he's going to be able to do some great things at 154. Now let's move on to Jermell Charlo, because that's the next fight that's coming, and for some reason it just don't have the same impact of this Errol Spence Jr. Bud Crawford fight. I'm not feeling it, and I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? Because Jermell is a hell of a fighter. Also from Texas, Houston, Texas, and you know, saying it should be that same kind of height. And Jermell had a harder run than EJ. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why the excitement isn't there, because with the history between these two guys, Canelo has been ducking Jermell all this time. So now it should be more energy in this fight. It should be more passion going on, and it's just not there. It's just like dead waters. It's like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? I mean, the interviews are not as explosive. They're so, it's nothing wrong with being respectful. No, I don't mind the fights being respectful, but I still want to see the competitive nature of both of these fighters. You know, I don't want to see a business meeting like, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, like you out on the job at a corporate job and they're doing their interviews like that. Like, hey man, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to beat you. You know what I'm saying? And you know, you just don't see that same energy coming from Jamel. And I'm worried about that, man, because I don't want him to become a fan. I don't want him to become a fan inside the ring. You know what I'm saying? I want him to be I want him to be, you know, I want him to be the regular Jamel Charlo, vicious, you know, confident, you know what I'm saying, ready for the fight. And I just don't see that in him, man. It's like, and I'm wondering what's going on, man. It's like, where is all that? Where's the passion? I know he's happy he's going to make the money. I see that all over him, that he's ready to make that. You know what I'm saying?
He's ready for that check. He already brought his girl that bag, man. He already got that bag, man.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
That person.
It's weird because Charlo's usually emotional. Like, that's what the fans want to see. Like, that's what we are expecting to see. So when I'm starting to realize when they had a character, it's just kind of weird. Like, which maybe they'll do it.
This dude named James Fritz. So you don't think Canelo ducked them Charlo boys after everything?
He definitely ducked Jamal. He definitely gave him the belt.
You think? I mean, it's like, what did he do? Get out of my comments with that, bro. It's like, bro, you think that's funny? Man, yeah, this ain't the place for you, bro. I'm trying to tell you,
know,
bro.
everybody got to start at preschool, so you know they.
I'm just saying that, like, bro, come on, this dude jumped up to 168. You know what I'm saying? It's like he wouldn't even fight Dimitri Boo Boo Andre, bro. Come on, man.
He
won't
like,
fight nobody.
This the first melanated fight he done had since since he fought what your boy name? My boy from New York. No, not New York. He fought your boy. Used to go with the Simmons girl who chopped off the Charlo in the hallway.
It's like, you know, it just pissed me off. It just pissed me off that they could see these dudes ducked. You know what I'm saying? Then once they duck somebody and he give up the damn title. You know what I'm saying? And then he ducked David Benavidez. All this dude do is duck. Is he a good fighter? Yeah, but he be ducking the hell out of people. They even give him a duck belt, bro. What more do you need to see? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You messed up boxing with a duck belt, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
we gotta give Mauricio that too, man. Mauricio gave him and Loma away to duck Haney and to duck Charlo. He gave him the belt on the same day. I remember the shit like yesterday, and that was terrible. And boxing had been real bad ever since.
I mean, when are people gonna stop? You know, when they gonna face reality, bro? It's like about Canelo. He's a good fighter. He's a competent fighter. He's a smart fighter. But you know what I'm saying? He didn't even go back and fight the rematches he should have fought. He don't care about no controversial wins. You know what I'm saying? Only person he didn't fight Triple G till he was old. And Triple G wasn't crap either. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Right. He just want a payday. He just got the network money, and that's what made him great. That he could produce all his money, and he had a really great base of fans. That's what made him so great. You know, that they didn't care that he fought, you know, saying 17 John Riders. You know what I'm saying? And they made belts so he could win. They made belts so he can win. Gave him belts fighting his trainer.
They even changed the steroid limit.
Right. So it's like, bro, this motherfucker's the George Washington. He's the Mexican George Washington of boxing. You know what I'm saying? He had everything going his way, bro.
Man, you know but we see how it goes, man. Because look at how they let Ugas get that low blow, man. Come on. I'm like, dude, come on, man. That man got hit in the stomach and spotted on himself and never grabbed his nuts, and they talking about low blow. Boxing is corrupt as hell. It's more corrupt than it's ever been. And that's saying something.
So let me ask y'all think Boo Boo got a chance against the Mexican Monster, y'all? Come on, I got silent here. Do Boo Boo?
Same chance as I gave Caleb Plant. I say I would give Caleb Plant the early rounds, and I would give David Benavidez the later rounds. And I would do the same thing with Andrade against the Mexican Monster. I would give Andrade the early rounds, and I would give, the Mexican Monster the later rounds. That's what I would do.
I think that Andre is going to suffer just like everybody. Being outside that ring, his inactivity is going to kill him. I think he's a better fighter than David Benavidez. I think all around talent wise, but if he was active, I think he wouldn't have no problems with the Mexican Monster. But because he's fought lesser competition, because for so long at the zone, and because he fought those European fighters for so long, that he can't grit it out. He can't grit it out with a big, solid David Benavidez who's keeping himself busy. I think that's where he's going to come into problems. That he's not used to getting hit like that. He's going to not used to getting pushed like that in the ring. Somebody who could take his punch. Somebody who can somebody who's got that that momentum in his career. And I think it's a payday for Boo Boo Andrade. I think he has a super high boxing IQ. I think he has a super talent in the ring. But unless he go to the snack program, he ain't gonna have a chance. Unless he go to snack.
I would like to see more evenly matched fights and not just on paper. It seems like a lot of these good fights, this person's been out of the ring. This person's been out of the ring. And it's a common theme that keeps coming up in these fights.
But that's the promotion though. And really these promotions are making it inactivity. Really the best time that I saw with Mayweather and Golden Boy was actually cooperating before PBC stole all their fighters. Those were the best fights. Because you would see a Mayweather main event, but you would see Canelo on the undercard. You would see a lot of good matchups because you can't get great just fighting your own stable of fighters. That just never. I mean, you got to fight some of them Europeans. You got to fight some of them gritty Mexicans to get where you need to get, and that's just not happening now. And everybody like, I want $4 million to fight, man. Dude, you were just fighting at the high school gym, man. That's like for real.
I heard something that Jay said yesterday in the Manager Marty show, and she was talking about how some of these fighters know that some of the other fighters are on certain, drugs or whatever they're taking, and they don't want to risk fighting these guys. They're not going to come out and say it, but they like, no, man, I know this dude juicing or this dude doing this. I'm not fit to take a chance. In the same way with Canelo. Canelo always got the upper hand in fights. He always weight drain you or bring you up or whatever the case might be to try to have the edge. And a lot of these fighters just want a fair fight.
And that's my issue with the Charlo Canelo fight. Like, of course, that will be a great fight. Undisputed versus undisputed. It looks great when you look at it on paper, but then when you just break down what's going on, Charlo been out the ring. He coming off a hand injury. He coming up 2 weight classes. And, all of that puts him at a disadvantage. And so you have to start taking that into consideration when you watching these fights.
And see, but that's not going to come into play, when they look at the paper and they look at the box rec, it's just going to say that Canelo, knocked out Jermell Charlo, not that he'd been out the ring for 16 months and he had a hand injury, coming off a hand injury. None of that's going to matter, you know what I'm saying? So, like you said, we've been seeing this trend in boxing where, the boxing fans, they want to ignore the facts on the ground, that these guys ain't 100%. But the thing they always go back to is say that no fight is 100% when they're in the ring. No fight is 100%. And you want to get as close to the best that you can be when you take on a major legacy fight. I know you can't pass up the moment sometimes because of the money or because of the media matchup or whatever. But, as far as your boxing legacy, you want to be at the best that you can be in that ring, because once you lose, nobody, you can't go back and change box rec and say, no, man, no, I had a fever that day. No, you gotta make sure that you give yourself the best, set yourself up to have the best chance to be successful. I think Demetrius Andrade, he's wasted. He's 35 years old. He's wasted a lot of his life over the fighting those silly, I don't want to say silly Europeans, but you know.
Yeah,
You
man,
know,
he
Spence,
wasted it over there. He should have never went with Eddie Hearn in the first place. Like Eddie Hearn is the worst
well, he
fucking
fighting like
promoter.
Scott Squiggly or Jason Squiggly, what his name is, and you know, names that you know. Come on, man. You know, when you see these foreign names, you know, what I'm saying, that you can't even hardly pronounce, these Scotsmen, and you know, say, come on, man. You know, I ain't got nothing against them dudes, but they're not American. The biggest market is in America. You know what I'm saying? It's in America. So, you know, he didn't build his career. Nobody really knows who he is except a hardcore boxing fan. Here it is. He fought Lehman Williams. He fought Jason Quigley and Demon Nicholson. So he fought a lot of those guys. Arthur, you know what I'm saying? He just fought
But
a lot of
even
no
with
name.
fighting them, the fights were all boring. He didn't knock nobody out the ring. He didn't do anything to take that next step.
Well, he did beat him, but they wasn't nobody, bro. One dude he knocked down 4 times. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but nobody knows who that dude is. He never went on to do nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, bro, who are you really beating over there at the zone? This is
And
when
you
the
know
zone's
what?
supposed to be taking over everything.
Shakur Stevenson better take heed to that too, because it's easy to become a Boo-Boo Andre. It really is, man. You better start doing a Stone Cold Stone on some of these motherfuckers.
You remember when he went into the zone and he went in there and he recorded it and he went in there and asked him why wasn't he being mentioned with Canelo and Triple G, and you know they were just gaslighting him and shit in there. You know, hey man, you know how we got you, and you know what I'm saying, and he was just being the surfer, this black surfer guy. You know, and and I'm just like, give me David Benavidez for the black community. We trading with whoever the representative of the Mexican community. We want David Benavidez. Y'all take goddamn Boo-Boo Andrade. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just saying. You know.
He Ecuadorian, but I ain't gonna say nothing about that though.
Well, you know, hey, we'll take it, goddamn it. You know, I eat mangoes too, goddamn it. We'll take them. Goddamn it. I don't know. Mangoes. Let's go. We'll take. I love the Mexican monster. I really do. I love his attitude. But he's gonna have to face the music at some point in time. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's chasing Canelo and he's chasing greatness, he's gonna have to fight Canelo. He's gonna have to fight David Morrell Jr. And that's another problem. You know what I'm saying? At 168. So that's gonna be a big task for him because that dude is hungry. That dude is talented. And you know what I'm saying? That dude, he's more athletic than David. He's got a lot more tools than David. He just don't have, you know, and he got a lot of Olympic experience. He has a lot of Olympic experience, so he's a danger to beat. But I know David want to make that money before he takes such a big risk. And I just hate the fact that everybody know that David is a big threat. He keeps getting ducked. He keeps getting put to the side. He done fought 3 eliminators. This is not boxing, folks. This is popularity. This is popularity shit. You know what I'm saying? David is
sanctioning body.
He done paid his dues. I mean, if anybody, you know what I'm saying, and even if Jamil Charlo was to beat Canelo, right, I would want to see that fight between him and David Benavidez, and Crawford could wait. You know what I'm saying? You know, he don't have to go back down to 154 to fight Bud Crawford. I want to see him fight David Benavidez because I think he'll get more greatness out of it because Crawford is at the end of his career. David Benavidez is like 26 or 7, right? So he would get more credit, and he's a natural 168 pounder. So he would get more credit fighting David Benavidez or beating the David Morrell Jr. And his greatness will go through the fucking roof if he beats those 2 guys. I mean, could you imagine? You know what I'm saying? He's already had the hardest run at Undisputed at 154. Now he's going to go up to 168 and beat the best dudes up there. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God, man. He would be the man of this era. I would have to put Jamil up there. If he beat those guys and stay up there, have the courage to stay up there at 168 and fight those guys. Even if he lose, bro, you would have to put him, he would definitely be in the books, bro. He would definitely be in the books, you know what I'm saying? Give them guys an opportunity, a shot, instead of holding up the division on this popularity, face of boxing stuff. Because would y'all make Jamel the face of boxing if he beat Canelo?
It just seems like Jamel has to do a lot to kind of prove who he is. I mean, he has the best run to undisputed. He had exciting fights. He had exciting rematches. He overcame adversity. He did all of that, and they still don't want to give this man no credit. So now he got to go up 2 weight classes and fight the undisputed up there to prove himself. Nobody else having to do that. And then on top of that, now you saying beat Benavidez, like, golly.
I mean, I would really be pissed though, man. If they serve up Charlo on the platter to Benavidez, and you let Canelo escape. I want to see him fight Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Even though that may not happen, but Jamel is a warrior, man. He definitely went through some crazy situations with the loss, with the draw, and he came back from both of them, and that Kennedy never made him better. That only made him better.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you seeing Conan the Barbarian just defeat 100 motherfuckers by itself, but yet they're giving all the credit to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? It's like, he got to defeat all these monsters and, monster after monster. This guy's going through a gauntlet of his own. And it's like he's just not getting the credit for it. It's like, dang. It's like, so if he goes up and beat David Benavidez, or even if he loses, you got to elevate him. You know what I'm saying? In boxing history, you got to elevate him because nobody else is doing that.
And I don't think that Derrick James is Charlo's only trainer.
No, Charlo got another trainer. I think his name is Guzman or something like that. He said.
Right. So
this is Guzman, not Joe Guzman. Please, not Joe.
No, that's Guzman.
No, somebody else.
Guzman be in the corner with a turtleneck on. I'd be like,
that's Guzman.
Yeah, Guzman don't care what he at.
No, not Guzman. Guzman. I forgot the first name, but he got 2 trainers. He got a guy specifically for like the mitts and body wear. He got a whole team. That's what he was saying on the Sway in the Morning interview. That he has a whole team.
John Guzman.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, that's his name. And I mean to cut y'all, but Bomack was saying that too. He was insinuating he was like, you ain't the only one over there either. So that's probably what he meant by that. Because Jamel came from who was the boy with not the boy, but who was the guy that trained him and his brother?
But I don't think they doing the same thing though. That's what I'm saying. I don't think Spence is doing the same thing Charlo doing and working with the same people.
No, he's working with DJ.
So that's what I'm saying. What is going on in that camp? What is happening? I mean, are they just seeing the writing on the wall and they're making adjustments accordingly? You know what I'm saying? Or what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Are they just making changes on the fly? I've heard that Jamel has always had like a second trainer or something down there in Houston or whatever. I think Spence needs to follow suit. You know what I'm saying? If he can't get the attention that he needs, or is he just lazy? You know what I'm saying?
I think that they've been winning for so long with the same team, they just got accustomed to it and didn't think they needed to change, honestly.
Well,
I mean why change what been working?
Yeah,
I'm looking at this and they said Jamel added Guzman. Oh, go ahead.
I said you don't always have to change, but improve in like you know what I'm saying, like he was picking at Bomack about having a team. And I'm like, bro, that's an improvement. You know what I'm saying? So your fighter can keep working on what he needs to perfect to keep that timing going. You got a defensive coach, an offensive coach. You know what I'm saying? Once you get done with your offense, you start working on your defense so you can transition, you know what I'm saying, and get the timing together.
I couldn't believe you said that.
I'm like, you don't know these things until they come out. You know what I'm saying? In an argument, because we're not like watching the camps like that. Yeah. And then finally you start getting the particulars. It's like, okay, so Derrick, he just do this shit by himself. Like, come on, man.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's like, bro, you ain't bringing in nobody else with the arm pads and just working on transitioning, working on all the different scenarios.
But
You just thinking this for yourself that this is what's happening, and then you find out, oh, Derrick's trying to do it all himself. Like, no,
and
bro.
and that
Mhm.
arrogance is what can create the fall of your person, because like you wouldn't say nothing to who's Tank's trainer. Oh man, I can't. Coach Calvin. You wouldn't say that to Coach Calvin. Everybody knows Tank got another coach that helps him with that too. It's a team. It's the whole point of a team, and that's why you bring those guys in. But researching it, Jamel brought Guzman in June 2021, so he brought him in a while ago. You know, you got to they got to stay on top of their team, man.
But again, Jamel bought him in. It's on
Brought
the
him
fighter.
in. That's right.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, like once you build yourself up after time to get be able to perform on this level for this kind of money, I'm just trying to figure out, like, damn, I don't give a damn. I want to keep winning, just like you have to keep improving on your craft. You know what I'm saying? I want to keep improving in my camp. I want to improve in all areas, especially when your reputation get bigger and you get more enemies that want to see you fall. You want to stay on top of your shit. Well, and I know, like I was saying earlier, that you got more life responsibilities going on, but you can't let it affect you from, being at the top of your game. You know what I'm saying? And it looked like that's what I'm seeing. There's a lot of people having problems or in that camp making the adjustments, to stay on top of the game, to stay on top. And it's hard to stay on top like that and stay motivated. Mayweather keep young people around him to stay motivated. He keeps things in his camp to keep him. And not only does he has like a superior mindset. Now he is a genius. Don't get me wrong, but he knows how to keep himself motivated. Bringing in people like EJ, young fighters, to keep him up on his toes. And I think these fighters, they lose focus of that. Say it's not important to them no more when you got $30 million in the bank. You know what I'm saying? Like Hagler was saying, it's hard to do road work when you're sleeping in silk sheets and stuff like that. So that always kind of rears its ugly head, as these fighters progress in their careers. And I'm just like, damn, what I'm saying? You want to see them 100, the best at their best at all times, but look like that's just kind of impossible. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? Yeah, look, it's just impossible, man. So, I just want to see Jamel be at his best. I want him to take the smile off his face. I know he's happy that he's making his money, but I want to see the old Jamel, so I want to see that killer Jamel, the one that can't complete sentences well because he's so emotional. How you be talking like in them choppy sentences, so I want to see that.
He be talking like Scott Steiner and shit. He be
Yeah, I want to see
that's
that.
What he got to be. He got to be that way. Hopefully, closer to the fight, we can see it come out, because right now we're looking like Dive City, man.
Yeah,
like you just happy to be there.
Like
happy to be there.
Success can create complacency, and that's what we're seeing, man. It's like, damn, you hate it, but we ain't in the we're not in their shoes, having to keep up, the training, having to keep up the regiment, having to watch your weight, having to, then you have to handle your family problems, and they got to get a team, bro. They got to have some consultants out there like a Jay Prince, how to run your camps and how to handle your business. And that's, it's a lot. It's a lot they got to look at. And I think EJ takes on too much. I think he take on too much himself. I think Derrick James needs some help. They may have to hire me, man. I may have to go on down there. Man. Tell them, man, hey, look, man, y'all messing up. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got a good thing here. Let Ryan Garcia ass go. Send him on back to Golden Boy.
Send OJ up out of there too, man. Y'all first thing, y'all gotta leave.
Yeah, man, y'all messing up. Yeah, they ain't start losing till AJ don't come to the damn camp. You know what I'm saying? We noticed that you brought that bad UK mojo over here. You know what I'm saying?
You brought tea and shit.
The way they saw Spence lose, man, you can see it on Derrick James' face too. I think Mel just trying to get extra focused because he just seen his boy just get beat like that. And like look at Spence in a high regard, especially when it comes to sparring, man. So that probably kind of made him just like extra focused, honestly.
Unless he knew what was happening, you know what I'm saying? Because he does have inside knowledge. You know what I'm saying? He is able to go to the camps, and he talked to Spence on the phone. So, you know, he probably, you know, got a good perspective on it. He ain't gonna, you know, say nothing, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, he ain't supposed to, you know. But I was surprised that in the interview how he was saying that EJ got to take time off and and get himself come back, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't too bad, but you know what I'm saying? I wish he would have, you know what I'm saying, kind of gave us more inside knowledge of what was happening, you know. If anybody could have said he had a rib injury before the fight, it could have been Jamel Charlo. You know what I'm saying? He could have said something like that, but I don't think that would have affected his friendship with EJ. If I was EJ friend, I would have said it all. I would say, yeah, man, you couldn't spar for, you know what I'm saying? So I would have told it. You know what I'm saying? But
maybe
you know,
they don't want to disclose what was wrong with him before the fight. So you know,
I know that. I
Terrence
know they
Crawford
don't.
could think whatever he want to think, and then he come back better and stronger in the next fight.
True, but you know Crawford, he'll postpone the fight. Oh no, I ain't fighting that nigga now.
But there you go. You were doing good, Paul. You were doing good, man. You should have started a timer. Hey, Paul was doing good, man. He relapsed real quick, though, man.
Hey, boy, I'm still messed up by it, boy. Hey, boy, I'm still messed up by it, boy.
I couldn't bask in the glory as much as I want because I don't want to see nobody get their butt whooped like that. So I was like, man, I couldn't even get on y'all like I want to.
Well, you know, we're going to shake Victor Conte's hand on that one. You know what I'm saying? We're going to give him all credit. You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Hey, see what I mean? He done relapsed.
Hey, I could do like Bud fans.
What
you know what I'm saying?
What you saying? He had some infinity stones in that net. Hey, man. Boy. Bud came out there looking like that boy stole his mama purse. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yo, man, it sounded like he was.
No, but to keep it real though, I like the spirit that you know, these guys, you know what I'm saying, they could take a loss and keep going. You know what I'm saying? This goes to show that even the best in the division, you know what I'm saying, could lose. And you know what I'm saying, Errol Spence Jr. just showing you, you know what I'm saying, he comes back. If you win, then it just shows you that, you know what I'm saying, that a loss don't define these fighters. You know what I'm saying? He has a good.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Cool.
Yeah, it just shows it's a good opportunity. Shows that, you know, one loss don't really define a fighter. You know what I'm saying? Even though we live in a post Mayweather Pacquiao era, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, motherfuckers got to be undefeated to be the greatest. You know what I'm saying? Nobody ain't gonna be the greatest in boxing, bro. If you keep fighting the best, somebody gonna beat you. So whether they outpoint you, whether they knock you out, somebody's gonna beat you. And I'm telling you, I've been watching fights for 40 years, bro. Over 40 years. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling you, somebody's gonna beat you if you keep fighting. Mm-hmm.
The constant is the casuals will get exposed. Like y'all was saying, like they don't want you to they want the Spence fans to change up and like, yo, if you a fan of somebody, one loss shouldn't stop you from being a fan of. You're a casual. Go on and put your tux on. Because if you like somebody, go on and put that tux on and tie your shoes up. Because if I'm a fan of somebody, they had an off night, everybody have an off night, man. Come back. I'm happy he activated the rematch clause. Like, who thought he wouldn't have activated the rematch clause? Man, go back and try to get you another. If you get whooped, then okay, man, you got paid to get whooped. But he could have, just think he went in there and did a tune-up and Keith Thurman whooped him like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then you would have lost all that future potential. Look at AJ. AJ could have fought Wilder and had a great legacy just off of losing to Wilder. But he ducked and dodged and got whooped by a light heavyweight that can't even take a body punch.
Oh yeah, Andy Ruiz whipped him. That's worse. You know, but it's the way he lost. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's the bounce back, you know what I'm saying? And AJ he don't look the same, man. After, you know, once you lose that's another thing that we got to talk about. It's like once you lose that it's almost like kryptonite. You know what I'm saying? Because we saw Roy Jones Jr. once he lost his it was terrible for him. Once you lose that it's almost like losing a cloak of instability. How you say, invulnerability or something like that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where, what I'm saying? It's like it's a cloak or something of some kind of protection, a force field, being undefeated. But once you get defeated, now it's almost like you don't believe in yourself anymore. Like, you're not indestructible. So it's going to take a lot of mental fortitude for EJ to win this fight at 154. You know what I'm saying? Because he has been defeated. Crawford did break that undefeated streak. You know what I'm saying? And Crawford still got his cloak of invincibility.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? Because he's undefeated, so he don't know how to lose. You know what I'm saying? So EJ got to go in there. He's got to break that shit. So that's a whole nother level he's gonna have to get to.
It's almost like as soon as they lost, there was a whole campaign to discredit Errol Spence and DJ.
Mm-hmm.
Like automatically, and it's just like they haven't even got to the rematch yet. They haven't even fought the rematch yet. So just let them fight the rematch.
But you know what?
Nobody went harder on that campaign than that asshole. What's his name? Antonio Talk. Now I'm like, who is? Where did you come from, bro? Where did you come from?
But I will say Tarver said this on that show with Malinaji, him and Roy Jones, months before it happened. So he had to click his heels up in the air a little bit now, and he had to
no. But he went in on Derrick James the way he went in on Derrick James. Now he didn't mention that Jamel Charlo is a undisputed champion. They just totally ignored that. How you gonna have success on one hand? Okay, you finally get a defeat, so that just supposed to just represent everything you've done in the sport. So he tried to make one loss fit everything Derrick James has ever done. That's what I'm saying. And he came in there, Derrick James, they talking about he's this great trainer. He's this da-da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, bro, shut up, bro. You're a steroid user. You're a steroid user.
And you
got busted.
Thing was Roy Jones going down in weight. So come on, bro. Like,
right. You're a steroid user, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shut your mouth.
Poor you. Everybody on steroid today, man.
Oh no,
Tarver
was on juice, bro.
He got busted. It don't come out until it'll come out 50 years from now. Yeah, Bud came by, and it'll come out. We'll be old as shit. So I'll be 72 years old, and yeah, Bud, he had to win that one. You know what I'm saying? It'll come out. Bud Crawford, he came in, we gave him the juice, and you know what I'm saying? But Bud, then EJ will be like, look at this son bitch here. Look at this son bitch here. You know what I'm saying? It'll be all after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Years from now, this shit will come out. Roy Jones Jr. used steroids. You know what I'm saying? At one point in his career, and these fighters are human. You know what I'm saying? It happens. You know what I'm saying, to the best of them. You know what I'm saying? But it always comes out after the fact. The funny thing is, the dude that he fought was on steroids too. That where he got busted. I think what is it? He was on steroids. The Jamaican guy. Richard something Hill or something, Richard something, some Jamaican dude that he fought, and he styled on his ass. He was out there. I think Roy Jones was doing cartwheels in the damn rings, catching them with uppercuts and shit.
What fight is this? What fight?
Oh, you gotta go watch that. Roy was like styling, high stepping, and he didn't even know where Roy was. Roy was hitting him from behind, and he couldn't catch Roy. Man, Roy was fucking him up in there, hit him with about 100 punches in the corner, and oh my God, it was embarrassing, bro. It was like, what was his name? Richard. Go under Roy Jones Jr. and look for Richardson, something like that. Yeah, Richardson. Richard Hudson. No, this is like an old ass fight. But man, Roy styled like a motherfucker on him. He caught him on the right side, waited for him on the left side. Oh my God, bro. The speed was stupid. And Richardson, he said, hey man, Roy doing steroids. And he pissed for steroids. And it was like, oh my God, bro, this is crazy.
We both doing
so they both got caught? They
match.
both officially got caught?
Yeah. Oh yeah, they both got busted. They both was on steroids, but he got so embarrassed that he didn't give a damn. he took such a beating in the ring that he took such an embarrassing beating. I mean, Roy styled like the most on his ass. I was just like, God damn. Yes, sir. He said, yeah. He says, Victor got a book to write. You know, saying John Kramer. He says Victor's going to come out 20 years from now and say everybody who used the snack program was dirty. It's going to come out. You know, saying it's sad. But we got to watch it because Devin Haney's up in there too now.
He's going to discredit a whole generation of athletes.
Yeah, if Devin Haney's come out there and just start knocking out motherfuckers, at 140, he just go in there and he just knock out Regis Prograde. Oh my God, bro, he ain't gonna get away with that.
So is Victor Conti not allowed in any other sport, or is he?
Yeah, baseball. Baseball. Your whole scandal with I forgot them dude's name. So
Barry
Bonds and they put an asteroid by his name, even though they didn't even bust him.
They wanted that asterisk by Barry Bonds name, because Barry Bonds is fucking Hall of Fame in Pittsburgh, man. They just don't want him to do it.
But to tell the truth, his neck was like the Hulk. His head,
that move.
He was like the Incredible Hulk out there. He was knocking them shits into the next stadium. He was knocking the ball in the other goddamn baseball game.
Man. He didn't need none of that, man. I don't know
why. Hey, but I heard that Victor Conti on I think it's a documentary he had where he mentioned that he do got some stuff that can't be detected.
Of course they do. I mean, you couldn't have it in the sport if you didn't. Or, saying they know when the like your boy Inway, if they coming and shit, don't be there. You know what I'm saying? Just dip out till you flush out.
What they get Baumgartner with? What she get caught with?
And then she got caught with
I forgot what
something that give you more testosterone, like mortaletisol or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
She got caught. She got caught with predator blood in her damn system.
I love lime green blood.
I'm talking about she was ready, baby. But they just handle it. They just handle it now with such, they so nonchalant now when they get busted.
But it's weird. It's weird though that a lot of those matchroom fighters are testing positive. That's kind of suspicious in my opinion.
It ain't suspicious to me. It's what they do. Look at how many times White, what's his name, Derrick
White. Oh man, he get caught every week.
Look at Big Baby. How many times you gonna get busted? And he still suck. How you gonna be doing steroids and you still sorry as hell? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like Oscar Valdez, you know what I'm saying? How you gonna be doing shit and you still get beat? You know what I'm saying? That's how you know that something went wrong with the cocktail. Because they doing these steroids and they still ain't performing well. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, I mean, it just the steroids help you work out longer, you know what I'm saying, help you work out harder and stuff like that. That's why Victor Conti say you give me anybody in the top 10, I could make them number one. He looking for top athletes to transform like that because he understands their work ethic. So if they're able to 5-fold, 10-fold a work ethic, they're gonna be amazing.
Right. I just wish that it was just a natural playing field. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't have these, these things affecting, what I'm saying, the legacy of boxing. How many fighters, if you go in the past, what I'm saying, was on something, or use something in their gloves to win. It's like, man, if you just think about it like that, it's like, man, you don't even want to think about it, bro. You really don't. Thinking about Tito and his raps and, Margarito and, just a lot of fighters that got busted with shit in their system. Nigel Ben. It's like, damn. Say if you go back, you're like, damn, man. Oh my God, Conor Ben. I ain't never see a fighter that got busted with everything. You know what I'm saying? What the hell? It's like you get busted with everything, bro. What the hell? You ain't even worried about living no more. You know what I'm saying? You just threw your life away. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, just give me everything. Just shoot me up with everything, bro. God damn. You know, but he still is fighting today. He's still available to fight. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he's going to get the top fights. Hopefully, I heard he was talking about fighting Manny Pacquiao. And you know, if you took fight Manny Pacquiao at 45, and he comes in there and he's knocking down steel beams and shit, and you know what I'm saying, at 45, you know what I'm saying? It's like, my God, y'all have y'all seen those training videos of Conor Ben, how he's moving? And I'm like, man, this dude look like a nightmare, bro. I wouldn't want to fight that dude, man, because he's on that shit. He probably still taking that shit, because I don't think he can perform at a high level without, you know what I'm saying, being on something, because his body just looked crazy ripped, you know what I'm saying, at all points. He looked like a piece of steel, you know, and not saying that that's the end all be all to tell if you're on that shit, but, you know, nobody don't trust you after you've been kicked out the sport or suspended, you know what I'm saying, but him being able to come back is kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of iffy, you know, it's just kind of, and how, he don't look shit like Nigel Ben, do he? You don't look that, who the hell, you don't look nothing like Nigel Ben. It's like, Jesus Christ, what's going on? He said, Nigel Ben, my boy, he said, yeah, Gerald McClellan. Yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? He knew he was on that stuff. That's why he passed out, so they wouldn't have to take the piss test. You know, he passed out. He passed out, so they take him to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? So he wouldn't have to take that piss test. So, you know, everybody know that shit is legendary. You know, because McClellan knocked his ass through the ropes and shit the first round. He was beating the shit out of Nigel. Ain't no way in the world you're going to come back from that beating, bro. You know what I'm saying? No way in the world. But he did, you know.
He got one magic mushroom.
Oh, yeah, he totally dominated him, man. It's like he came back like that shit wasn't nothing. And go ahead.
I just think the newer generation of boxing fans not used to seeing people come back after a loss because they favorite fighters ain't losing.
Well, so, if you keep, go ahead.
Yeah, so as soon as they lose, it's like they want to be like, oh, their career over, and that's not what boxing is about. It's not about being undefeated, because it's like if you're undefeated, who have you been fighting?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. And young, I mean, it's just that we, you know, this new generation, they don't like boxing like that. You know, they ain't like that when they like boxing. They just like certain fighters, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that, you know, don't come to the hardcore boxing fans who've been watching the sport and been cultivating the sport, been, you know, advocates of the sport. You know what I'm saying? Don't come in my face, because that shit don't bother me, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're gonna be here, you know, say, because there's a whole lot more excellent fighters coming up, you know, like Tiger Johnson and guys like that, and Shushu. I want to see these guys break out. Keyshawn Davis. I want to see these guys break out and see what they do, because that's the next generation. Instead of just holding on to guys that's waiting to keep their O clean. And I want to see these guys mix it up. You know, win or lose, you know what I'm saying? Then you can see who's actually the best, not waiting around for a guy to get fat and not be at his best. And you know what I'm saying, and trying to catch him when he's off. That's not boxing to me. You know what I'm saying? That's not finding out who's the best in the land is, you know. That's just, you know, social media, you know what I'm saying, today image shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see that. Will you fight that man when he's on top of his game? Will you fight that man when he's active, when he's got 2 or 3 fights, you know what I'm saying? Right after he's done, he coming off a win, you know, fight him a month later, 2, whatever you set up to fight for. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait for a whole 16 months to go by and wait for this. You know what I'm saying? I want to see these guys at their best. And then you can say, you know, damn, that was a hell of a fight. Win or lose. You know what I'm saying? That was a great fight. Run it back. You know what I'm saying? Not just have a win for bragging rights, then you never go back to it like Canelo did a number of times. And that's why I can't like really get behind him like that. And I'm not really, hopefully Jamel, you know what I'm saying, he have a great training camp. Hopefully he's able to, you know what I'm saying, be focused so we can get this nigga up out of boxing, man. That's like, I'm just tired of looking at Canelo You know, I was born ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to I'm ready to move on to the next phase. And get the David Morrell Juniors, get the David, you know, these are true warriors, you know, who don't care if you know, so when you fight, they just want to get you in the ring. They want to find out who's the best, and they're not going to play games and try to strategically beat you. You know what I'm saying? It burnt me up every time Canelo came in after David Benavidez, you know what I'm saying, lost his title. He finally comes in and grab that guy belt. Or when Demetrius Andrade got stripped, he comes in and grabs his fucking belt. And I'm just like, bro, oh my God, that shit pissed me off. You know what I'm saying? He wouldn't fight the man, you know, down there at 160. But then he'd come in there and grab the man belt after he got stripped.
You know, and not give him another shot. Didn't give him a chance, man. That was like what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
I'm like, bro, are we looking at this shit, bro? It's like, and then they call it, cause no, he's the most, you know what I'm saying? Bro, I'm just like, oh my God. I'm sitting here, oh, boy, I be going on rants and shit when it comes to
he once dunked from the free throw line. No story about, damn, he dunked from the free throw line?
Like, really, man? It's like, really? Oh, they don't deserve a fight with Canelo. Then Canelo fights like a Liam Smith, or he fights like a John Ryder. Like, bro, are you serious? I mean, they stopped Billy Joe's side. They made this nigga, you know, test positive. This nigga test positive for that whatever that smelling salt thing is. You know what I'm saying? He had some kind of shit in the system, so he wouldn't fight Demetrius Andrade to clear the road for Canelo to be at 168 and grab them belts. You know, they got wrapped by Demetrius Andrade, and that's when he was fighting good. That's when he was on a tear. You know, so they right. So they didn't want him to get a belt because he would have beat the shit out of Billy Joe Saunders. He would have beat Billy Joe Saunders' ass, right? But they had to pave the road for Canelo Alvarez, the king of boxing. You know what I'm saying? And they know what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? They froze him out. They froze his ass out.
I mean, so, I wouldn't even be like, I wouldn't even be if I was Benavidez, man. I'd tell Mauricio, man, get out my picture, man. He jump on my man, get away from me, man. I don't want to talk to you. Like, jump to the IBF, jump somewhere, man. But that is, I remember watching Benavidez lose that title on the scale, and I would have never thought that he wouldn't have got a shot back at that in the same weight class.
Right.
All these years later,
he haven't got another shot.
I was like what?
Well, you know, all these fighters go through a period of being undisciplined, and they have to keep ratcheting down their discipline. You know what I'm saying, to dedicate themselves to the sport of boxing, because it's so restricting as a young person to have to go to the gym every day, and not be with your friends, and you know what I'm saying. So it's a learning curve for these guys, and we saw Tank go through it, we saw EJ go through it, we see all of them go through it. You know what I'm saying. So David Benavidez, he had to go through it too, still out there in the streets.
Wasn't that in the COVID bubble too when he did that?
Well, he was in the what?
The bubble, like they were doing that COVID bubbles.
Yeah, and you know that's another thing too. You know, so you got to be exceptional. I think Mayweather's like one of the most exceptional minds in boxing, where you got to be half crazy to do what Mayweather does. You know, he can go around a club and not do anything and still have training on his mind. You know what I'm saying? And you know, and then somehow he escaped the women bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, a lot. I don't understand how of course he got 6 of them, but is he really messing with any of them? I don't know. It's just an image thing. I think Mayweather's a master at making people think something, you know what I'm saying, that he's not doing. And you know,
Apple AirTags in them Birkin bags, and when he leave them, the bags just fucking float back home. But
like this is what like he'll act like he going to McDonald's. He like in some of the videos, he go, I'm going to get me a hamburger and fries. Shit. You know, Floyd ain't fit. He throw that shit out the window once the shit cut off. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He make people think that he's doing he's drinking or whatever. But they say he put on them boots and jogged from the club to his house. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Zal Zuda said that. Zal Zuda was like, yo, he's a maniac.
So, you know, he's a master of deception, you know. Yeah. But his mind is always on training and boxing and stuff like that. So, you know, I could see where he kind of fell out with EJ. You know, because I think he really had a lot of stock in EJ, but he saw EJ, you know, drinking and going out and enjoying his life with his friends and stuff, not
Hey
really
man,
dedicated. Hmm.
when they turned that camera to Floyd just started smiling, man. I said, yo, he just made about fucking $10 million.
Well, I
He ain't
mean,
gonna cash
Floyd.
that check, man.
One thing about Floyd Mayweather, he be knowing what's going on in these camps. You know what I'm saying? He keep tabs on these guys, and I've never seen nobody do that except for Floyd. You know what I'm saying? He knows what be going on when they're training. He be keeping tabs on them. He got that kind of money, that loan money that you know motherfuckers are watch and report back to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
turkey burger.
right.
Tell
You
him
know what I'm saying? Right. So you know he be knowing what's happening. You know.
Hey, I'm gonna say though, man, when I saw Errol get them 2 burgers, I was like, whoa, what the? Anybody else feel that way?
Well, I'm sorry, you kind of went out.
No, when they were showing that the Showtime, I can't think of the thing, you know, when they be following them around, and it was right before the fight, and dude hand Errol those 2 burgers. I said, man, hold on, I was like, hold on, man.
It's a
I don't
lot,
know.
man. Because you know, I mean, can you do that? I mean, can you be disciplined all the way around? You know what I'm saying? When your grandma or somebody's cooking macaroni and cheese and collard greens and chicken, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean, and rice and cornbread, and you know what I'm saying? Can you be that disciplined? You know what I'm saying? Not to go over there and kill yourself, you know? We come from a southern background, so you know it's a lot of food out there on the table. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of food, you know, and dessert. So you know these fighters, they
And
they leave.
dessert.
Yeah, he says,
That was
what are they going off on? Goddamn Floyd. They're talking about Floyd used. Talking about where were y'all when Floyd was using illegal drug? Come on, man. Come on now. Sports show says where were you
Floyd,
when
the
Floyd
cleanest
was?
fighter ever, man.
What is going on here, man? How are they going to attack Floyd like that? Floyd
how
ain't
they
never been
wrote the
busted.
same thing though, man. You switched to a different account and posted it.
Oh my God, bro! Are you
Hold
serious,
on.
man? I mean, Floyd got a lot of haters out there, boy. They hate Floyd.
Where were y'all with Pacquiao was turning green, man?
I mean,
Right.
and how are they going to blame Floyd when he tried to get the fight done and Pacquiao turned down the first fight because he didn't want to he was afraid of needles
Instead of
and
needles.
and it's like they just ignore all that shit, bro. They ignore all the particulars just to put the blame on Floyd Mayweather. And
Yeah.
then you remember that one video where the guy told me some Pacquiao actually won the fight by slowing it down and shit. And he had a whole video where you know he counted the punches. All he showed was the parts where Pacquiao hit Mayweather, and talking about he actually won. They were hurt, bro. That fight right there
Man,
really. They were
that
really.
is a good that fight is a good fight to watch how a trainer can change a fight. Mayweather daddy said, man, you fighting like you scared of him. And he was like, really? Bet. That next round, he bow right. Bow. I mean, every time he came in, bow, get out of there. And Pacquiao said, I don't want no more of those.
What do y'all? Cock killed McBride. He said those Roy's got Bud confidence sky high. Now he wants some smoke with Tank. Who would beat him worse than he beat EJ? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I don't know if Tank could deal with the length of Crawford. Crawford wouldn't have to like really engage. He wouldn't have to engage Tank like that. You know what I'm saying? His length is crazy. You know, so he's too big for Tank.
He would
You
catch
know,
him coming
Tank
in
would
with
have
that uppercut all
yeah,
night.
Tank would have to take too many risks, and Crawford timing is way too good. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't deal with that punishment he would have to take to you know what I'm saying, to get through that mid-range area. You know what I'm saying? I know Tank explosive, but that's just too big of a gap in size. You know, Bud is really a 170. He rolls around probably at 170. You know, that's just too big of a gap for him. And he's a highly talented, skilled guy. So, you know what I'm saying, that's just too much for Tank to overcome. Now, if he
Oh,
was the
shit.
same size as Tank, if he was the same size as Tank, that'd be a different story. I think Tank could get him if he came down to 135, but we know Crawford can't make no 135. You know, not now. You know what I'm saying? But I do think Tank would really give it to him. You know, say if he was at 135, just like he would probably do Devin Haney if he was at 135. Tank could fight at 140 though. Maybe they could do a catch weight at 140 and make it interesting. That would be an interesting fight at 140.
Tank said he was just playing. I was just playing.
He can't come up to no 147, man. That just don't make no sense. You know, he's a little. His dimensions would put him at a disadvantage against Crawford. You know what I'm saying, at that weight class. Cop Killer said, I don't rock with Canelo like that, but he beats Bud easy. I don't know about that. I don't know. It just depends on, Victor Conte got something extra.
Not if Crawford got the power he got, it might not be that easy. If Crawford fight like he fought in that Spence fight, anybody gonna have a hard time beating Terrence Crawford.
What your boy Bivol beat him with? A jab.
Bivol bigger than Canelo though.
Yeah, he is. And Canelo ain't big, y'all. Canelo's small. He's a small dude. He's just stocky. He's really got that meat in him. It's like fighting a pit bull. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, them pit bulls, they got short necks. You know what I'm saying? They quick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? You can hit them, but they durable. You know what I'm saying? And and once they clamp on you and shit, it's a wrap. You know,
I want to see though. I want to see Canelo get knocked down, man. Canelo ain't even got knocked down yet, though. That's why they propping him up like Mexican Superman.
That's why he fights who he fights. You know what I'm saying? That's why he fights who he fights. He don't have to worry about the power. You know what I'm saying? He can just walk in there and wipe their ass out. He couldn't do that with Demetrius Bivol, right? Demetrius Bivol got too much skill for that. He couldn't just walk in on him. You know what I'm saying? Are y'all gonna watch that? Y'all gonna watch Chris Eubanks Jr. with Liam Smith tonight?
Hey, cool. That's gonna be nothing but juice. That's a juice fight because they didn't even get VADA testing. They got some UKAB testing. So
and you know why it's crazy you say that is because I think I heard Chris Eubanks say he went to go train in Bomack and them in Crawford's camp.
Yep. Yeah, he did.
4 weeks. I think he got like 4 weeks of training or something like that. From Bomack. You know what I'm saying? All Bomack gonna do is say, hey, go in there and fight him. You gonna have to fight him. You know what I'm saying? He depends so much on the skill of Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So, it ain't much that he, so I don't see how he gonna help Chris, because Chris got a lot of skill set that he need to learn. He's a brawler. And, he's not much of a boxer. Liam Smith, them guys like that, they come forward. He can't deal with a lot of pressure. I think Eubanks is a front foot fighter. And, once you get him on that back foot, it's kind of hard for him to rebound, especially once he take a good whack, you know what I'm saying? And he's not intimidating.
Well, they was insinuating he was drained in the last fight.
He was. Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why you would fight the same weight again, but we're gonna see. Well, and I think it's very interesting about the no drug testing. That's interesting.
Oh, it ain't interesting. It's what it is. You know what I'm saying? These dudes can't make these weights without the drugs. You know what I'm saying? They can't make those weights. Liam Smith ain't nobody, bro. He ain't nobody, but he will look like a rock star if he's on the right shit against the right opponent. He was going to take a beating from Conor Benn. You see what kind of shit Conor Benn had in himself, and he was going to fight him at what were we going to fight him? 154. I think he was going to fight Conor Benn. And he was going to shrink Chris Eubanks Jr. down. Say he's fighting at the wrong weight. He's supposed to be at 168. You know what I'm saying? So he just using his daddy name to make some money.
But why do they continue to do that? I don't understand the reason. So you only can get this money here. You can't move up and get money. Like,
think about it. Eubanks, you got Conor Benn, Nigel Benn's son, and you got Chris Eubanks, who's Eubanks Senior's son. So it's a legacy fight. It's a fight of the legacy kids. You know what I'm saying? Now, why is he fighting Liam Smith? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know why he fight. Nobody knows
I
Liam
think he
Smith
getting his
like that.
rematch for. I think Liam Smith had beat him last time.
Well, I
I
mean,
know, but we
first,
saying why
I'm
they
talking about even
fighting in the first place.
right. Exactly. It's like nobody. Liam Smith got a head full of white hair. This nigga, this nigga is about 60 years old.
How
Bro,
old
if
is
you
see, like Paul, how you were saying the other day, you don't really follow those fighters like that. I don't really follow them like that, so I'm not too privy to their stories.
I mean, didn't he fight Canelo? Didn't Liam Smith fight Canelo? This nigga resume goes way back. I mean, this nigga is old, man. And he's in here kicking ass now. And then, you let the UK people tell him, yeah, man, we got great fighters. Nah, man. If it wasn't no steroids, you would never hear no UK fighters, bro. You know what I'm saying? None of them. You know what I'm saying? It can fight in the American market, None of them. You know what I'm saying? So for Chris to go over there, well, he's a UK fighter too. So, when they come to the American market, you know what I'm saying, they can't compete, so they got to fight each other. Liam Smith, man, like I'm still trying to debate if I'm going to watch that crap or not. The way Liam beat Eubanks in that last fight, it was crazy.
Yeah,
He might
knocked his
do.
ass out, right?
Yeah. He was looking. Oh man, he was looking bad, bro. But he do allow himself to be drained, and he's trying to cash out the business and stuff. And it's just crazy. And he's another one that don't look like his daddy either. You know what I'm saying? He don't look shit like his daddy. I'm like, what the hell going on in England? You know what I'm saying? What is happening? It's like Jesus Christ.
Hey, how do y'all feel about that WBC order in Shakur and Frank?
I like that fight.
I think it's a good fight, but I wish they would have let Shakur fight Loma and let Frank fight Kambosos. Let them fight for vacant belts, and then let Frank and Shakur meet up as champions.
You know what? From what I heard, it was supposed to be Shakur wanted to fight Loma, but I think Loma had told Bob that he was taking a break. For real.
Loma taking a break.
Real.
Loma said, I got something in my eye, man. I can't do it.
Well, Loma want the big fights. You know what I'm saying? He don't want the mediocre fights anymore. He's getting older now, so if he's gonna take an L, he don't want to take an L to a no name, or you know what I'm saying, or to nobody who's coming up. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to be a name on somebody's resume.
Man, they was trying so hard to give him that fight with Devin, man. He threw one jab. They was like, he just threw 3 jabs. I said, bro, let me
But bro, did you see the outrage though that came out? I'm talking about like every white man people who didn't even watch boxing protested, like, oh, this shit ain't right. They just looked at the damn hair like Lomachenko lost. They never seen Lomachenko lost and shit. They're like, God damn, this is an outrage. They had like a page. I think Champside was talking about how they had a page where it had like a obscene number of people saying this is an outrage and stuff. I was like, bro, they really hated that loss that Lomachenko took. And
I think at the worst, it could have been a draw, but Lomachenko didn't do enough to win that fight. He had good moments in the fight, but he didn't do enough to win that fight, and he definitely didn't do enough to take round 12 off. That didn't even make no sense.
Well, the thing is that the little pockets of success that he did have, they exaggerated that shit. He almost had. I mean, I was like listening to the fight, and I was just like, bro, he missed 7 of those punches, got in 2, and they was acting like, oh, Devin Haney's almost out. He's almost out.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, I was like, man, I can't listen to that. I had to turn the volume down again. I'm like, oh,
and Tim Bradley was the ringleader too.
Oh my God, Lomachenko! I told you when you mess with the Matrix, it's like, oh my God.
I should record my facial expressions listening to Tim Bradley commentate fights.
Oh,
I'm just like, Tim, I be looking at my husband like, what is he talking about? Like, what is he seeing? I don't be understanding.
Tim Bradley be reading directly from a script that they had them 10 minutes for the fight.
He's a propagandist, you know what I'm saying? He's supposed to lead you to believe, to not believe your lying ass eyes, you know what I'm saying? Because they do that. I've seen Andre Ward do it. They stop commenting on the other person's work and start exaggerating the favorite, you know what I'm saying?
I seen Andre Ward cap so hard, and then he had to go back and apologize because he know he was capping too hard.
Yep.
I think he quit. Didn't he quit ESPN?
I think they let him go.
Yeah, I think he quit that shit, man, because he would cap. I mean, he just,
I miss the Emmanuel Stewart, George Foreman days.
He used to cap too, though. Man, Stewart used to cap too, motherfucker.
Kick out of man, boy.
Looking like a little goddamn Care Bear, looking like a black ass Care Bear over there. I was like, bro, because he used to do that HBO propaganda shit too, especially if he didn't like a heavyweight or somebody, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, man, he used to cap a little bit. I said, man, you need to stop, bro. I know that you want them to bring you back and all that, bro, but you keep it real, bro. Keep it real. Him, George Foreman, all of them. Sometimes George Foreman had his moments though. You know what I'm saying? Where he kept it real.
But they all capped like that time when they didn't show Bud was a champion at that weight class. But he was gonna say nothing about that. Oh,
no, they were good on that. I was 100 on that.
Well, now they can't do that. Shit, he got all the
when right after Floyd told their ass that told Larry Merchant he don't know shit about boxing, they went out of business, and Floyd went over and got that 6-figure deal at Showtime. You know what I'm saying? And told HBO to kiss my behind. You know what I'm saying? They went right up on, I think that was like 2018, 2017, somewhere up in there. HBO just went off the grid, bro. It was just like, oh, everybody was happy. Because HBO was, it was great for boxing. It's just the people, Jim Lampley and
AB had HBO on the map. AB had HBO on the map.
Well, HBO been on the map because I mean, shit, I've been watching them since the 80s, the 80s and shit, and when Sweet Pea was, and Oscar De La Hoya was bringing up the ratings, and it's just that they just started feeling themselves because they was on there for so long. They just thought they could downrate fighters and everybody
blatantly disrespect the black fighters. I mean, you see Roy Jones get disrespected out the good win, Mayweather, Hopkins, like blatantly disrespect them when you go to Lomatino. Oh, you need some lotion? Like, yo, man. Shit, man.
Everybody had to live up to the Oscar De La Hoya standard.
So they try to act like black people.
What's the Oscar De La
Hoya
standard?
Going in there fighting mano, face to face, rock'em sock'em. You know what I'm saying? That was how he fought back in the day. And he wanted everybody to fight like Oscar De La Hoya, who went for the knockout. You know what I'm saying? So everybody had to live up to his standard back then. Larry Merchant would always mention Oscar De La Hoya when he came to Roy Jones, or it came to when it came to Floyd Mayweather. Oscar De La Hoya would have went for it, and George Foreman be co-signing on that shit. He sure would have. He would have went in for the kill. I was like, oh my God, bro. If these guys don't get the hell up out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, we had to endure a lot of shit over the years. You know what I'm saying? Listening to a lot of biased commentary, and it's just it's going on.
Nothing new. Sounds like it's nothing new going on in boxing. It's the same old rigmarole.
Yeah, but they got embarrassed so many times with that bullshit though. In the same commentary, they used to be telling Roy, you know what I'm saying, you look like Roy's gonna just settle for another boxing match. Then he knocked the guy out. Oh, Roy, we need to see more of that. You know what I'm saying? They be like dogging him out during the fight. Or Mayweather, you know what I'm saying, they be dogging him out. Then Mayweather come up with a goddamn knockout, you know what I'm saying, like he did Indu. And he ended up knocking the guy out. It was like, oh, Floyd, people want to see you fight like that. It's like, bro, go sit down. Go sit your ass down.
He would be like, what a lackluster performance. Like, man, Floyd, I want to slap you so bad, man.
I like how Floyd said, I'm going to let you go over there and talk to Victor Ortiz. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to let you go over there and talk to him. I was Like I knew it was some bullshit for to come after that.
Hey,
You don't know
but at
shit
least
about
on that one, Foreman didn't cap. Foreman like, nope, it was legal. I don't want to hear it. Foreman like, that was legal. I don't want to hear that.
I'm gonna tell you who I like. I like Lennox Lewis commentary because he be honest with his shit. He just sit there.
I want to tell you something. This one I knew Lennox was fire too. Lennox was watching Tyson versus not Tyson, Holyfield versus Buster Douglas. Watch that fight. Lennox Lewis said, if he keep fighting like this, he ain't going 3. He said in the first round, and his ass was sleep in 3. I was cracking up, and they was like, "No, Lennox, he's just a little fluffy. Man, motherfucker fat. He can go to sleep."
But I like. I mean, because you can see the bias. What Lennox does, he exposes the bias in the commentary because you had Gooseman and what's that, Brian Kenny. You know what I'm saying? They were, how does Spence? How does he have more work rate than people? And you know what I'm saying? And the Gooseman, to his credibility, he was just kind of saying, can't you watch the fight and tell? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I think Mikey Garcia was getting hit all in the gut. And Gooseman said, see, he missed that shot. He missed that shot. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about,
Are you talking about the Mikey Garcia Spence fight?
Right. And the commentary was so terrible, bro. I mean, it's just like, oh, he did get hit with that shot, but he missed the last shot.
Beat off of him.
Man, I don't know what do you want to keep going?
Right. He did. He missed the last shot, but he did get hit with that shot. Okay. I was like, oh my God, bro. You see him clearly. Yeah, I'm fit to shut it down till tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? This is a good cook. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody for coming through. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I don't get a load. No, I won't get a load tomorrow. So we're gonna cook early and take it on down the line. You know what I'm saying? Great cook. You know what I'm saying? 2 Cent Boxing, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe to 2 Cents Boxing. Y'all see how she get down. She knows her stuff. And she brings an interesting insight. You know what I'm saying? Steve-O, y'all know Steve-O. You know what I'm saying? He gonna talk his shit. You know what I'm saying? So, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Michael Ray, you know what I'm saying? Jonathan Paul, all things, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all, you'll come back tomorrow probably about 8 or 9 o'clock, and we'll just took all day. You know what I'm saying? See you guys tomorrow, y'all. Peace out. This has been Full Counter Boxing. Make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and remember what I say, y'all. Law don't go around here, law dog. It's happy. See you guys tomorrow.